Welcome back to the casting desk, and we can continue with our grand finals. Thank you for bearing with us through these small little hiccups that we've had that have kept us away from the grand finals, but we can actually continue on. We can go over to map number 2 now.
Which might be a draw.
If it was,
because
well,
we still need more games.
We could be here for a long time. Currently, HerO is leading 1-0 over Polt. We'll be going over to the next map, which is going to be on Frost.
Pretty cool map to play on in Terran versus Protoss right now. Definitely one of those maps where there's going to be a lot of possibilities, and my asks are going to be turned towards HerO's base.
All right, we'll see what's going to happen here. Has this little delay changed any strategy plans for some of these players? Is up here to the top left as the red Terran player representing CM Storm. It's Polt. And then up here to the top right as the blue Protoss player. It is, of course, Liquid HerO.
HerO, who's been quite convincing so far in these grand finals, in my opinion, even though he had the draw, in which I do think he was quite far ahead. Up until that point where the draw was forced, he was doing very, very well. Then we go into a regame, and he does so well in it again, and he goes for the proxy, and he dominates the entire game. He's the one applying pressure, he's in his comfort zone, and then from there he secures the win. So going into this game on Frost here, he's gonna have to make again a choice on to basically what build he wants to use, and we could be seeing something like a Stargate here. There's a pretty good chance we could be seeing something like that.
I mean, in HerO's head, I mean, even though the score is 1-0, do you think he's looking at this like, yeah, you know, I really should be 2-0. I really haven't lost yet. And do you think that gives him a little bit of extra confidence at all?
To look at it that way, it kind of sounded like you were saying that he would be frustrated because he's not up to 0, but what you really meant was like, just because of the way he's dominating, he's probably building up confidence for him. Yeah, there is probably a good chance that's the case. If you think about it, even though a draw was forced, he was dominating for most of that game. And if he stays calm here, if he makes sure he stays in his comfort zone, and if he has good builds to basically use against Polt, I do think he's going to have a very, very good chance to be able to take this tournament.
All right, well, we will have a winner eventually here. No matter how long it takes us, we will have an Insight Stream Masters Cologne champion. Which way is it going to go, Terran or Protoss, in this final here? And you know, mistakes may be more present in this finals now that we've waited for a long time. It's been a 12-13 hour day, I think. Polt played his first game 13 hours ago, and then he would have been here a couple of hours before that to warm up and get ready. So it's been obviously a long day for every single player. But we'll see how this is going to shape up. HerO opened up 1 gas into the expansion. Hasn't tried to throw down double gases to look to increase his gas income for some form of tech structure, and it has been spotted here by Polt.
Yeah, I like that Polt again is going back to his go-to build with the Reaper, Command Center, Reactor, and it's interesting how he places his second depot, you see, in a corner of his base to make sure he can spot some kind of Oracle flying in. That's definitely going to help in reacting faster, even though I would say you do need to keep some Marines in your middle lines if you're expecting some kind of Oracle play. In this case, he scouted the very quick nexus of his opponent with the gas, the second gas as well. So he knows he's not going to be some kind of very quick Stargate. And what is
Yeah, I was about to ask, what is this probe doing? It's actually waypointed outside of the natural here of Polt. Actually turned around and decided to place down a pylon.
Yeah, this looks like a Twilight play, and possibly
Dark Shrine,
yeah. I think so. And you know, a lot of players, like Xenocider, for example, when they see that a third pylon's missing, or when they know that there might be a proxy pylon on the map, they think that it can only be Stargates. It can actually be a Twilight as well, as you can see here.
Yeah, and I mean, there's no really way for Polt to know this is out there at all. He's poked inside the main base. There was 3 pylons inside the main base. He's seen that.
Yeah.
This is going to be difficult to read into here for Polt, for sure.
Yeah.
He has, though, previously thrown down turrets at the right time. Just knowing his personal timings, I think the first map of the draw map there, he did have that in place, but are we going to see that from him here? Actually pokes into the main base, But what is he really going to see?
No, but look, he's going to make the Dark Shrine in a different location than he's made the Twilight.
Wow, that's kind of funky.
This is actually really smart, because if one of them gets found, the other one won't necessarily will be found. This is pretty cool here, what we're seeing from HerO.
This is some next level games here, next level mind games.
He delayed his Dark Shrine a little bit.
Yeah.
The Twilight Council was finished for some time.
Really, is this going to be spotted if it was next to the Twilight Council? Is it really that big of a deal to delay it by that long? I think it just could have been by the Twilight Council, right?
I don't think it was delayed because of that. The pylon was already finished, no? Or he made it as soon as the pylon finished. I thought the Twilight and the pylon were finished, but he was just maybe looking elsewhere for a second. The thing is, if one of those gets found, and I don't mean early on, because early on I don't expect it to be found. I mean later on, some kind of unit goes through there for some obscure reason, a medivac.
Yeah.
Is like going all the way around the map just for fun. If one of those gets found, the other one is not going to be. So this is definitely some pretty cool play we're seeing. But a turret is going to go up.
Yeah.
Now, if HerO's not aware of that, he's definitely going to be sending in a Dark Templar which will die and reveal the tech. But we have a Robo on the way. HerO might be able to see that turret, in which case it was not sent a Dark Templar and he hides his tech for a little bit longer. And that scan did not reveal much here by Polt, by the way.
Extra gateways been added on. That's all he saw, the 2 extra gateways coming in. Saw the timing of the gas on the natural, could click on it, obviously, and have a look. But this is immediately a switch over to robotics facility, bear in mind. Straight away, straight after the Dark Shrine was down.
Yeah. Do you think he goes for DT drop? I think he definitely sends in that first Dark Templar, but actually he's going to the right-hand side right now. Dark Templar is moving, I'm not even sure where it's moving. Maybe the Watchtower? A little bit weird. I guess it's taking a little bit of a longer way than...
Yeah, but there's 4 Marines inside that bunker.
Yeah.
And Polt may even see the movement of the DT here. We'll have a look. He's going to have units in position anyway. This just simply isn't going to work. As you can see, the DT has been revealed.
That's some reflex.
Yeah.
Pulled it back right away. Was definitely looking at his Dark Templar. And he's going to go for the drop anyway.
And there is a Marine there that could spot it. And does spot it.
Will spot it.
He sees everything in this game. Great information from Polt. That it's funny because... You know, he didn't really see anything, but his personal timings, his turret timing was down there. He had a Marine up north in case there was something like an Oracle or a Warp Prism. He spotted everything. He's got a turret inside the main base and has found himself in a pretty good spot early on. Didn't take any damage.
Yeah, and behind this, HerO goes into Blink. He's going to be taking to Colossus. He's anticipated this with a turret in the main. And HerO might be able to save the Dark Templar if he realizes that this is what's going on here.
He's looking for something here, and...
he knows.
Oh, they got Stim.
For
the
nothing.
Warp gets out. Nice.
Man, HerO, he's basically, to sum this guy up, calculated aggression.
Yeah.
Every single time. We see him being so aggressive, and where a lot of players who lose their units, he keeps them alive. He gets a lot of damage done while never... I don't think I've ever seen basically HerO at the 10 minutes mark above 200 or 300 units lost. He's at 50 right now. And even though he hasn't killed much, he most of all hasn't lost much in a situation where he could have already lost something like 2 Dark Templars, where a lesser player would have already lost quite a few units. HerO hasn't lost.
Well, he might lose something now. There's 2 drops headed towards his main base. The Stalker's out in the open here. And as you say that, but nope, Zealots were good enough to push this back. So no, he continues not to lose anything here. And he's already switched over to Colossus. The first Colossus just now popped out. And he's in, you know, he's, like you said, he's not in terrible shape at all despite this not doing anything.
Yeah, interesting robo placement, by the way, behind the middle line of his main. 4 Zealots are loaded up in a War Prism here. The Stalkers have to go back. They do have Blink. One of them is going to be caught. And Polt actually still has lost a few more units than his opponent right now, but he's done a very good job of not losing much himself. Only
much, no.
Yeah, not a single SCV has been killed so far this game, which against HerO, if you can reach the 12 minutes in this situation, you're going to be okay.
Well, a couple of Stalkers got picked off there as they blinked forward towards these Marauders. And we are now going to see Polt move across the map here. He's got quite a large army. Yeah, he hasn't taken any damage. He's been able to consistently build up. He's going to pick off another DT there. But surely the Colossus, which there is a second one now, supported by quite a few ground units, should be more than fine when a direct engagement happens. But it's when the drops start to occur here. But I guess there are Blink Stalkers, so...
The army supply is pretty scary right now for Polt, 79 to 57. It's going to be tricky, obviously, to attack into the Colossus, especially since Thermal Lens is about to finish, but going into charge behind this, HerO should be able to go for a third base because he's already made a lot of probes on his 2 bases, and I wonder if he's gonna wait. I think he's gonna wait with the War Prism to drop it in there as soon as he knows that HerO's Polt's out of position. And that one DT, by the way, in the main, he's still waiting.
Yeah,
waiting
he's
for
been
his
there
shot,
for a long
man.
time. Yeah.
Imagine he forgets about it the entire game. Be kind of sad, but definitely much unlike HerO to do something like that.
Yeah, there's one patient DT, and maybe he'll hit gold with that eventually, because there isn't really anything inside the main base at all.
The Marine on the bottom left-hand side might find the Dark Shrine here.
Whoop. Some units get caught, just a couple of Marines and a Marauder.
And the Dark Shrine is found, but pretty sure Zealot, or in this case the DT,
Yeah,
gonna say no to this. But later on, if he drops a Medivac and some Marines there,
yeah,
he kills it, which is a nice small win.
Oh, 3 Zealots get into the mineral line here and do start picking off SCVs quite fast there, and he gets 4 or 5 kills immediately.
Oh, and the DT in the main!
Oh, it's time for him to get his opportunity. 5, 6 kills, gonna get a 7th there. Excellent from HerO.
And he's gonna get out as units come back.
Yeah.
Man, HerO's anticipating every single move. He's basically dominating right from the start through aggression every single time. And even though Polt has answered very, very nicely to everything that's being thrown at him, he's now lost 13 SCVs in total this game, bringing him down to 47 SCVs against 59 probes.
The Viking counts at 6. There are 3 Colossus here. And there's a lot of Stalkers to support this in the middle of the map. HerO gonna push his luck a little. The Vikings brought to attention.
HerO is so much in his comfort zone right now that he's even proxied on right next to this 3rd base.
And he's going in with the Zealots again towards the natural, realizing that Polt's brought everything down to the 3rd upon seeing everything's there, and a turret doesn't finish in time. And in goes those Zealots with charge and start getting into the SCV line again. And Polt's going to bring everything or a lot of his units back out of position away from that 3rd. And a warp into the main base. The army movement down to the 3rd here. Hallucinated Colossus in the mix there. HerO needs to start targeting these Vikings. He does immediately. 2 of the real Colossus survive. Maybe an overextension here by HerO. The right-hand side, if he was to stim towards the Colossus.
Yeah, especially since he was getting Storm at the same time. Oh, that Immortal is misrallied here. Right into his death. And behind this, he's gonna have Storm, but if Polt counters attack now, his army is quite scary. I think he's gonna go for it. 91 army supply against 39 right now.
Yeah,
this is Polt's time.
That was really good from HerO, but then went really sour really fast. He didn't need to jump into that fight, and as you can see, it may have cost him the game here. As Polt goes for the counter-attack, Storm is finished, but the High Tempo don't have energy. And here comes the Nexus Sniper once again. Photon Overcharge is going to help out.
Straight to Time Warp.
Get picked off there. Storm's still not ready. There's one now, but what is he really going to get? Well, actually, go right there. You could Storm. Gets a couple of units, but doesn't really kill anything. Yeah,
also hits his own Zealots. The Photon Overcharge really helping here, obviously, but he needs more units right now, as Polt still has 90 army supply against 46. The thing is, HerO's on 65 probes against 42 SCV, so even though there's triple more Zealots are going to be warped in close to that 3rd base, and that economy of Polt is going to keep on going down. He needs to do more damage, but he doesn't have Ghosts. And again, he's facing a lot of Templars. And right now we have 7 Templars.
And there's the War Prism still alive on around that natural, so this harassment isn't really going to stop. The supply starting to equalize once again. And Mothership Core gets destroyed. But yeah, 8 High Templar here. It's going to be a storm shower for these units. The Dark Templar going for the turret, going to really increase the difficulty of this harassment.
Polt has just scanned above his army and Medivacs. He sees there is no observer. I think he's going to pick up and go for a big drop in the main, which there is not much in the main right now for HerO. There is a cannon going down. There is a Templar and a Zealot. And 4 Medivacs filled with a lot of units are going to head there. He might fly right above the pylon here.
Oh, that's
this is going to be revealed.
Yeah, lucky break there for HerO. Sees these units and immediately starts to warp in. And he is trying to warp in. This drop's going to go on. And it does unload into the main base here. 1 Storm has been thrown down by HerO, but not a lot. And as you can see on the bottom right, Polt is making a move with another army. On the other side of the map, HerO's used the Warp Prism again.
Oh, a lot of Templars are ready to receive that army on the 3rd base of HerO here. Oh my god.
Yeah, nice. He's really anticipating that one smartly. A lot of Storms available to use. The Mothership Core there can warp in if need be, if he has his gateways off cooldown. But the drop's still around inside the main base here. But HerO's going to hold on to his 3rd. He's losing High Templar though.
And those Storms hit big time here, but Polt has traded very, very well regardless. Especially considering he didn't have any Ghost. Dropping like this, he's reduced the Templar count down to 1 right now. One Templar that was warped in not too long ago that almost has a storm. Nice damage by Polt, nice trade.
Yeah, nice trades, but the harassment continues for both sides. A very low economy game. We have the drop inside the main base still going on. We have Zealots being warped to the third on the other side of the map for HerO.
And HerO's starting to fall behind in supply here. This is getting really scary. Those medivacs, I'm a little bit surprised they're not being evacuated right now. Polt is quite marine heavy, by the way. He's on 2 reactors and 3 tech labs on his barracks. Only 5 barracks.
SCVs though. He's lost so many SCVs, and there's actually a High Templar that's been warped in within the warp prism now, and is looking to storm soon into the mineral line once again. And HerO continues to hold. All he needs to do is keep on holding. Surprised he's got a couple of pros of that army. High Templar at the front there. 2 of them get picked off without really killing too much.
Yeah, and the 2 other, they do have storm, but there is a big army here from Polt, and he's teaming, he's strapping left and right, picking off units. Throwing down the Ghost Academy behind this as we had a Robo. The Robo was remade. HerO lost, he lost his Robo during all this. Remember, it was in the back of his main mineral line. So there is no tech to Colossus coming. Viking production has been halted here from Polt. If he gets a bunch of ghosts, or if he keeps on pressuring the way he's been, he might be able to conclude the game here with a nice win. And he's going again for the same 4 medivac drop. And he's again gonna fly right above this pylon. He might actually choose to take it out this time.
HerO has killed 62 SCVs in this game. Remarkable.
He still might lose.
Over the 22-minute mark. Yeah, he might. He definitely might here. And Polt gonna definitely try to keep focus on that left-hand side. He's taken a lot of damage from that flank. But what are these medivacs going to do? There's 6 odd zealots in the main base there. Well, 6 even zealots in the main base.
In the third base of HerO, he sees how much army there is. He's prepared some kind of concave. He's going to go for the fight.
He's going to go for the fight here, and there's a couple of storms to help out. One thrown down there. There is no photon overcharge, just ground units. Head-on fight. And Polt's going to come out on top here by the looks of it for the start of this engagement. A great fight here from Polt. Very high in army supply. And he's about to break this third base, and of course that's the economy of HerO down here.
85 army supply to 27, and he's done it.
He's done it. He's broken HerO. HerO's defense was kind of spread. It was in the main base. It wasn't all down to the third. A couple of High Templars come towards the end here, but another split from Polt means these units are going to survive, and this third base will go down, and it looks like this series could be tied up with this move.
A little bit surprised here. Even though the Dark Templars didn't do much, HerO made the most of them. And he didn't lose them, he kept them alive, he was looking like he was in a good position. And then he attacks just right before Storm finishes without his Templars. He's gonna have to be frustrated for sure about this loss here, because I do think he should have been able to win that game.
Yeah, and this is... sounds like a bit of an echo, really, because we've heard this multiple times today with HerO. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. In this finals, he's had one game he almost won, which turned into a draw. This game he almost had one, which has gone in Polt's favour here. So HerO down 56 supply, staying in the game, but with this army coming in, there's nothing that can stop this at this point. And Polt is going to tie up the series. We will go to game number 3, and it will be 1 apiece. GG, Polt not giving up yet in this best of 7. Still a long way to go, though.
You can play very well in the early game, you can play very well in the mid game. If you make some attack that doesn't make all that much sense at the time, against somebody like Polt, you're gonna be punished for it, and this is what happened here. HerO, he attacked at the wrong time, he attacked too early, especially considering he had some, I think it was level 2 ground armor almost done. Plus, he was getting Storm. It's not like he just started Storm, it was almost finished. Then he had made a few Templars. And he was like, you know what? I've killed a bunch of SCVs, my War Prism brought some of your army out of position, I'm gonna go for a fight. Once he engaged, it was too late. There was no way he could get out of it. That's why he fought, otherwise he would have tried to pull back. He would have lost all of his Colossus, not doing any damage. He didn't have the Mothership Corps with his army, because he had to keep it at home just in case he gets dropped for that photon overcharge, and he got severely punished for his mistake here. For his bad position, I guess you could call it.
Yeah, it was not the best of decisions to move forward there, and Polt punished it, and Polt was able to carry the momentum until the end of the game, where he found the victory. So 1 apiece now. We will be going into map number 3 very, very shortly here, which is Habitation Station. And we've seen a lot of this map over the last couple of rounds in this tournament, and we will see it again here. What are you expecting maybe from Habitation Station? Close by air, 2-player map. We've seen Stargate Oracle builds. We've seen Proxy Twilight Councils. We've seen a lot of different types of builds from Protoss.
You know what? I'm going to go with the Proxy Gates.
Proxy Gate?
Just because why not? He didn't in the first
man?
game. I don't think Polt will scout it too. If it's in the same kind of funky position, say for example around this third base here, not the goal, the other one,
yeah.
Will Polt see it? And will he scout early enough to realize that this is, in fact, a proxy? Actually, it's funny because in the first game, or actually in the remake of the first game, when there was the proxy, Polt realized very early on that this was a proxy because of his early scouts. But even then, he lost so many SCVs that he felt quite far behind. So thinking like this, HerO might be able to think, well, you know what? Even though this was scouted, it went pretty well, so why not do it again?
All right, we'll find out.
I'm actually kidding. I don't think it's going to be a proxy, but I just wanted to say something funky. What do you think it's going to be?
Proxy Oracle.
But don't you think he's going to be... It will be scouted for sure because Polt opens for Reaper every single time and puts a lot of effort into scouting.
Yeah, maybe it gets scouted. Doesn't mean it's not going to happen.
Okay.
We'll find out what HerO decides to choose here. And really in this matchup, it is up to HerO to make these decisions because there are so many options to choose from. And it does come down to Polt, as mentioned, finding it. And will he be able to find if HerO even tries anything in the first place? As up to the top right of this map, spawning as the red Darren, it is of course CM Storm's Polt. And then to the top left here is the blue Protoss player playing for Team Liquid. It's HerO.
It's only suitable he plays as the blue Protoss.
Yeah.
And as Roti will say, representing the horse.
The horse? Has he said that?
Yeah, he always says that when he introduces
the horse.
It's the year of the horse, man.
The year of the horse.
Team Liquid's logo is a horse.
Yes. That's funny.
Of course they're going to do well this year. Doesn't look like we're going to have any kind of proxy. No. Sadly for me, well, at least not early on. Well, the proxy target could... Actually, on this map, you don't even need to proxy a target. What?
Yeah, that's true.
What is this prediction, man?
Yeah.
Come on, put some effort into this.
Put some effort into your prediction, son.
I'm going to give you a chance to correct your prediction here.
Yep.
Go ahead.
I don't think we see anything then. I think it's just a regular game from HerO.
Which would mean something like
just
a
robo... robotics,
okay. Yeah. All right. Would actually quite surprise his opponent and maybe confuse him because HerO, he doesn't know how to slow down sometimes, it really feels like. And in that game, in the previous game, this is really what costed him the game with being out of position, always wanting to be aggressive, you know? Sometimes you need to know when to take a little break and come back later and stronger. In this case, HerO was not able to do that on Frost and paid a high price for it.
HerO has requested a pause here. Not too sure what for. As we will find out very shortly, I would imagine. Maybe he's the wrong sound or the wrong music on.
By the way, did you notice that in the last game of Jaedong versus HerO, he had an Immortal with 66 kills?
Did he?
Yeah, apparently he did.
That's a lot of kills.
That's kind of sick.
That's a true hero of an Immortal.
I want to watch the replay and focus only on the view of the Immortal.
Just zoom in and just watch it from almost
it's like
first
a movie.
person. It's like a frag movie from a Counter-Strike game. The Immortal's just there killing everything. Oh god. 66 kills is a lot as well. Those Immortals did live forever against Jaedong. They really, really did. Okay, so we have a Reaper opening here from Polt. And this is with the SCV Scout, of course, going over to the left-hand side. But we only have a single gas taken so far from HerO. But that probe is going down the right-hand side.
Yeah, and I quite like that he went for an early on scout here to know exactly what he was up against. There might have been a few things that he'd have seen and basically correct his play from there. Say, for example, he sees a command center first. He might play it very, very differently than what we might see here. So as much, he didn't proxy anything yet. He's getting the Mothership Core very, very early on. This is still very standard of an opener here by HerO.
Yeah, second guess now been taken. The probe's going to go back in, so no proxies for us. But never mind, maybe in the next game we'll have to wait and find out. Maybe. I'm sure there'll be another one in this series. Probe's going to go and zap that SCV.
And again, Polt with the second depot in a basically scouting position, I guess you could call it, to make sure he can see anything headed his way. Oh, that Reaper! What was he doing here? He was trying to hide.
The Reaper?
Yeah.
I wasn't. I was following the probe and the SCV.
Me
actually.
too, but I see that the Reaper was in the top
Really?
right-hand side of the base of HerO here. Maybe trying to escape his side for a second
Yeah.
to do some damage later on, but the mothership core chased it away.
It's really cool that the probe went in there actually to harass that command center while the Reaper's on the other side, and of course the reactor was building. Did like that, but now he is gone. And I love how probes die, by the way. Zergling drones like kind of just get obliterated.
Yeah.
SCVs like just collapse, and then probes go poof. They do. They just go up in a cloud of smoke.
You're a very sadistic person, you know.
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
With the quick forge here, your prediction might be good, but no robo yet. This could be some kind of additional gateways plus a twilight later on, but I would actually be surprised at it. Yeah, I do think that a robo being added onto this will make this build a lot stronger. Then again, I'm not HerO, obviously, and he always has some kind of different builds, playing a little bit special here and there.
He has seen that this is barracks, not a factory, so there's no need to go up to a robotics facility if he doesn't want to. He could very easily throw the Twilight Council down from this point, I can imagine. But
especially if he has no plan to go into Colossus. And I have to say, Polt scouting here, he has to be confused, because there is nothing to be spotted. He's probably thinking like, what's going on? Is there a gateway sitting on the map? Am I getting 6 gated?
Am I
or
playing
something?
versus Stardust? He did do that. That's a real reference. We do have, down there. That's what it was. Yeah, that's right. Okay. So Twilight Council is coming in with the double gas has been taken on the natural here. So we are going to have a Templar focus game come out from HerO, and he really can change up his style. That's one of his great strengths. Really, he can play Blink all-ins. He can play a Colossus style. He can play Templar. He really can do anything here. A scan goes down on the natural, by the way, and actually spots the Twilight Council and the gases, so that's a good pickup from Polt.
Yeah, the Stalkers, they have to pull back for now. Always a good reaction time on HerO here. You can always know if he's playing really well by basically looking at his Stalkers. As I say, that's actually one of those is going to take quite some damage, but he reacts sometime. Ooh, no. Come on, you don't kite like this many Marines and Marauders with just 3 Stalkers. It's just bad business.
Bad business. Bad HerO.
And a very quick Templar Archive. Actually, if you look at the army supply right now, 8 to 30. Of course, the Photon of a Charge really going to help in holding this. And I guess, since the Medivacs are really, really delayed, there is not much that can be done. But I do think that if Polt steams and goes up the ramp, he could do a lot. Then again,
force fields,
yeah,
man.
he knows. He knows.
Yeah.
It's only really only because this is this map that HerO did that.
Double force fields, Photon overcharge.
Whoa, playing with fire here a little bit. Careful, Polt, you might get burnt if you play with fire.
You. Arsonist.
And by getting burnt, I mean more getting lasered, actually. If you're playing against a Protoss.
Yeah.
Pretty quick Storm. Actually, Storm might be finished before we have the first Medivac out, which definitely is going to be a good scenario for HerO here.
Does HerO turn this into aggression at any point here?
Yeah,
He does have pylons all the way down the right-hand side here.
Quite possibly. The difficult part with being aggressive on this kind of map or against a player like Polt is going to be basically attacking with enough units to do damage and having enough units back at home to defend. Because you can be sure he's going to go for a counter-attack with those Medivac drops, which is so good at it.
And HerO has spotted the 3rd command center down before a 4th and 5th barrack, so I guess that kind of makes a little bit more sense as well if he was to try to go for this. There's not a huge amount of units compared to what there could have been. So this, I think, is a decent position. Definitely a decent position to potentially try this here. He is going to be going up to a total of 9 gateways. It's a lot of gateways.
Yeah, actually, this standard would be more 8. But I guess HerO really going to be committing to those to this gateway play. Actually, this might be a tell that he really wants to commit even more to a timing. And since he's not getting a robo right now, you're supposed to at least get a robo. Not too late. Look, he set up some defense. He has 2 cannons in his main. 2 Templars there as well. If HerO goes for an attack, even if he expands at the same time, this is going to be very strong. Not having any Ghost against this, it's very, very, very difficult to deal with a high Templar heavy army. And right now, I know we only have 4, but I'm pretty sure he's going to continue on warping in them continuously.
Well, there's the robotics facility, and
Yes.
it looks like the probe is in position to take a third, so not a massive, dedication to this attacking, very easily pull back onto a third base. But of course he is strong at this point, no matter what, no matter which way we do look at it. He's set up very defensively, but back at home, cannot be dropped really in his main base.
Yes.
And can move out into the middle of the map now. He has a couple of storms available, 2 storms on both of these High Templar, 4 storms total.
Oh, and I like the choice of level 3 ground armor, by the way. We've seen MC be very successful with this style. And if you think about it, and if you look at it right now, Polt is +1 and he's getting +1 armor. So he's going to be 1-1 against quite possibly 0 and 3, which means level 3 ground armor are going to be pretty mean, and those zealots are just not going to die. I like the turret in the main of Polt, making sure that if a War Prism flies in there, it's really going to help in shooting it down.
Yeah. And even a single Viking to go with that too. It's not a Viking for Colossus at this point, it's for a War Prism. So he knows HerO style and is preparing quite nicely for
and
that.
there is a War Prism queued up. It's going to start now.
Look at that. Woo! Those units got trapped by the force fields. I didn't expect that, but that was a nice catch there by HerO. And that was the sickest commentary ever. And yeah, he got caught quite badly there. Lost a lot of units in that.
I'm surprised HerO is actually running away. I guess he doesn't have all that many zealots with his Templars. Now he does. He's reinforced. Gonna storm and run away still. And we do still have the War Prism actually almost finished. Polt is on... Look at how much supply Polt has. This is actually getting quite scary. He has a lot of army supply, but dealing with these Templars is actually still very, very hard for him without ghosts. And he's going to be saturated on 3 bases. If he starts doing some damage with Medivac drops, if he gets... I guess he cannot really get a cancel on that 3rd base anymore because he's already finished. But the Mothership Core, having been remade here, not going to have enough energy for Photon Overcharge just yet. There is a small window during which Polt could do some damage. He's going to have his factory. Do you think he goes for a Widowmine here, thinking there is no observer? Could be.
Yeah,
there's actually an observer just right above this.
I'm surprised that we haven't seen the Ghost start yet. He's got the Ghost Academy.
Oh, and by the way,
this is very crucial.
There is a Templar on the bottom right-hand side and a Pylon. If he starts on sending in some Zealots into that base while dropping something in the main of his opponent, HerO could start doing a lot of damage here. Where's the War Prism actually? Oh, it's all the way down there. What? Where is it down there? Might fly above a Marine. There is always... Man, what are these Marines? They're like scouts.
Yeah.
They see everything coming.
Too afraid to fight. But willing
Is that what's up?
but willing to kind of give the information that's necessary to pull. But this War Prism's pretty loaded. It's got 2 High Templar, a Zealot and a Stalker, funny enough.
Oh, big storm on the bottom right-hand side actually on these Bioforces finding the Pylon. And in the natural...
Yeah, double storms come down. A lot of SCVs melt immediately there.
Dropping the main.
And then he's going to, go up to the main base here. And this is a pretty decent drop, but there's storms, quite a lot of storms, and the Zealots, and, a lot of Zealots.
He even starts an Archon behind this.
And then the War Prism's in the main base of Polt here, so
Yeah.
this has been quite successful for HerO. Not so much for Polt, unless something happens in the bottom left here, but HerO's ready and waiting to accept that, so this has not gone very well for Polt.
Yeah, Polt is actually kind of getting wrecked in every single place on the map. His 3 bases are under attack. His 3 mineral lines are under attack. And where he was attacking at the 3rd base and in the main base of HerO, he got dismantled completely.
Yeah, and look at the supply difference between the 2 players. A massive 50 supply advantage for HerO. He's gutted
natural.
the SCV line.
His natural is the saddest place. There is an Archon, a Stalker, and a Zealot killing everything right now. And the War Prism's still alive.
So
he's getting chased
in
down
the last
right
game, HerO killed 70-odd probes. In this game, he's already killed 47. So he's quite intense when it comes to the slaughter of the SCVs. And the great storm there is Polt just walks into it. A second one as well with Zealots being warped in. Even the main army coming back to help deal with this. And HerO's taken quite a convincing lead in this this map.
You know, with all the SCVs he killed last game, he still lost. So he probably thought, well, I'm going to take this to the next level. I'm going to attack all of your mineral lines at once. And he killed so many SCVs this game. 47 already in total. The Colossus transition is on the way. And with the level 3 ground armor +1 attack, +2 attack is going to be on the way here in a second. Oh, actually, he was out of position.
Yeah,
this is army.
Yeah, 2 good storms there, but the Colossus gets picked off pretty fast here. And the Nexus sniper himself, Polt, has changed targets to the robotics facility and does pick up his units and then go towards the main base here. Double robotics facility to kind of catch up with that. But look at the supplies.
Yeah, and
96
the
supply.
factory was actually sniped by a single Archon, which was pretty angry for some reason. And we have only a single starport by Polt. So the Colossus transition, which actually is going to be the Colossus production, I guess you could call it, because they've gone extent right now in this game. And as soon as there is going to be, say, 2, 4, or even 6 Colossus, this is going to be so strong for HerO here, because Polt's not going to be ready. He has one Viking right now, that's it.
Yeah, he can't be ready until that begins. So this is going to be very difficult for him. A big drop and a decent storm there. Yeah. And a second good storm too. And this is becoming more and more difficult for Polt to really get back into this game. He's not really achieving results with these drops.
Yeah, this is just an absolute disaster of a situation for Polt. He was never ready for Storm, and he's even less ready for Colossus.
Yeah, and look at this HerO just marches forward. He's got an army that isn't really stoppable at this point. The supply difference is way too big. And HerO is going to take this fight to Polt, who has lost so much through harassment again. Good game is called, and Liquid HerO goes up 2-1 in this series. In this best of 7, now needs to win 2, where Polt needs to win 3.
It's crazy to think that he was actually winning both games, that one of them he drew, the other one he lost.
Yeah.
HerO was winning in all of the games. He always gains a lead early on. How do you stop this guy early on? This is ridiculous. He always finds a way. He always finds a hole in your build. He always finds a weakness. And in the end, Polt, he's going to have to find a solution to this. Otherwise, the hemorrhage here is not going to stop.
Yeah, and...
By the way, what was that on HerO's arm here?
Did
he write down a build order? Never stop attacking. He gets a tattoo, he's like, never slow down.
Always build a warp prism. It's a reminder, he like gets it tattooed on his wrist. I will never ever forget to build a warp prism. Or it's something
he does not forget.
It's something as simple as like build probes and pylons.
It's like a cheat page, you know, like in school.
Oh yeah.
Wouldn't it be funny if like somebody tattooed a build order?
And then imagine that. The best
forgot
part
that he had it tattooed.
I think the best part of tattooing a build order is that the game changes so often. You're like, oh crap, can't use this anymore.
Macarax at 9.
You'd have to get a build that was there forever, like just a solid build that was just there like forever. What? 2 racks.
You don't need a tattoo for this one. Everybody knows the 2 racks.
Well, you know, there's some people out there that might not. I don't know. Imagine that there's something like a 6 point. You're like, all right, well, that was silly.
You drink a little bit too much one night. You wake up, you have like a 6-pool tattoo. Like even with the drawing of the spawning pool, you're like, oh, damn it.
Yeah, that would be quite funny. Looks like we are almost ready for this next game. We will be jumping on to Yeonsu is the next map in this grand finals. And Yeonsu, we've had quite mixed results, really, especially when Polt's been involved, because when Polt isn't involved, then it's usually a Protoss victory, but when he is involved, it's a Terran one, because he's been really, really solid when playing against BlinkPlay on this map, and he's also been very solid when playing against regular games as well, and regular Protoss styles, so interested to see how this one's going to shape up.
Yeah, Polt, he actually won Yeonsu against Stardust, Mana, and Classic, but he lost it against Rain. So his last game on this map, as strong as he looked before. And he actually, that game was crazy, by the way. It was the 2 base that Rain did and really surprised his opponent in, which HerO again was watching. So has he learned from that? Does he try and copy and emulate Rain? We'll see.
All right, down here in the bottom left-hand side of Yeonsu is the Red Terran representing CM Storm. It's Polt. And then up to the top right, if he wins this, he'd be on match point for the Intel Extreme Masters Cologne tournament as the blue Protoss playing for Team Liquid. It's HerO.
I don't know why every time HerO's introduced, I hear Rotty's voice in my head saying, representing the horse.
Representing the horse.
Gonna be interesting again to see mostly how HerO opens with, because I'm pretty sure Polt's going to be playing very similarly.
Yeah.
Going for the depot at his ramp seems to be what he likes the most. And I guess when you do that, it's pretty safe. You cannot really get proxied. You're always going to see it, at least in base. So we should be seeing a Barracks 12 and a Gas 12, most likely here.
Every single time.
Which, it doesn't really feel like HerO's countering the build order of his opponent so far.
Yeah.
It really feels like he's countering the player overall.
Yeah, it happens a lot in Protoss versus Zerg. It's probably, I mean, in Protoss versus Zerg, it's the one that we see the most often where they try to counter each other's build opening, but not so much here, and not so much in this matchup overall, really.
HerO's just freestyling, man.
He is a great freestyler when it comes to playing Protoss. Opens up with a build and it only lasts until the 5-minute mark, and he's like, all right, time to take the training wheels off.
Imagine if he did like skiing or something, some sport like this.
Oh man,
nobody would understand what he's doing, but I bet it would be great.
Yeah, he has flair. That's one way to describe HerO. He's always had that flair in StarCraft, and I'm sure he'd have that in anything else he does. Little do we know, he's probably done some freestyling, whether it be, I don't know, snowboarding or anything. Back before playing StarCraft, you don't know. I'm going to ask him one time. I wonder if he has played a lot of sports. I think he plays football. And he supports Man United. I do know that because he was wearing a Manchester United jacket yesterday.
Must be a pretty sick football player.
Oh, yeah.
Have fun dribbling with this guy. Oh, the probe's trying to hide behind the pine tree, actually. Just maybe to try and confirm that... I think, he's going to wait until that Reaper leaves, which usually will be like 3:44 before he sends his Zealots in. Actually noted that, yes, guys, I want to copy HerO too. And here, 3:50. He's going to send his probe in. He expects the Reaper to be gone, but he's actually patrolling around this ramp. Polt anticipated that. He didn't think it was going to be behind the middle line of his natural, but he thought that probe might come back because it's happened before. And nice deny on that scout. HerO's not going to know if there is a barracks or a factory behind this, which in this case is going to be a barracks.
And that was kind of crucial to his last game, really, on Habitation Station. It enabled him to go for the forge into the Twilight Council, skipping the robotics facility because he knew he didn't need detection. So, a pretty decent hit from Polt. But what do you think HerO's going to do? He's got these double gases down. You think he plays just a regular game then?
Yeah, it's very possible. Since he's mining from double gas, he's going to have a lot of options to choose from. Man, did you see that Reaper? It went all the way around.
Yeah.
That natural expansion out of the vision and then leaped in the main, checked the entire area for any kind of tech. Actually, not the back of the middle line, just because of that building placement. This is huge. As much as there was nothing, Polt, he's even more scared than he should be right now, because he probably thinks this tech probably already has started, which in this case had not. So this is pretty cool here. We're really seeing this building placement come into effect in those games by HerO. Man, they are doing so much work already. We are not even at the 6 minutes. They have denied scouting from each other quite a lot in this game.
Twilight Council is down at the back of that base there. Mothership Gore's going to poke in and have a look if he can get towards the back. See the factory or barracks, and Polt hasn't seen it yet.
And I think we've both learned what to expect on this map.
Barracks.
Here in a second, by the way.
Yeah.
Polt's probably going to be moving towards that lower part of the map to get the watchtower and get the other one with his Reaper. Exactly what he's doing right now. Usually it's like 8 or 9 Marines plus a mortar, but actually Polt, since he hasn't got a single scout off in this map, he's changing it up. He might also be anticipating HerO, anticipating him basically, because I couldn't find a better word. So he might be anticipating HerO, knowing about what Polt could do with the watchtower and going for some kind of attack. And this might be the case, by the way, because HerO is going for a blink and he's playing it very defensively. He's keeping units back at home. He's not moved out across the map prematurely like we've seen other Protosses do.
Hello, blink. Hello, 2 gateways. He's going to spot this.
This is so metagame heavy.
Yeah.
Everything that's happening here.
And he sees it now. So he knows exactly what's going on. He's finally been able to gather that information. And from this point, he moves out. So, but this has been displayed so often in this tournament, and HerO's not going to be a fool. Actually throws down the Templar Archives really fast in this game.
Yeah, he didn't feel comfortable anymore going for the timing. He felt like he had missed the timing for the blink.
Yeah.
So hold on, actually sending out a probe with his 4 Stalkers. If he doesn't keep Enough back at home, we've seen Polt do a lot of damage in that mirror line. Blink is seconds away from finishing. Actually, he could be caught with some of his Stalkers here. Okay, they're not a move command. That's a good start.
Yeah, and HerO's found these units, and Polt's not going to be able to get too much damage done here as long as he doesn't lose anything.
I'm actually surprised he's proxying a pylon where he's proxying it right now because... Oh, there it is. He forgot the Mothership Core. I was wondering, how do you blink in the main with all your Stalkers without the Mothership Core? So he's moving across the map right now. He wanted to make sure he was safe, but having the vision here.
Oh, he could kill all these units here on the left-hand side. He just doesn't know they're there. And again, Polt finds a way.
Polt is a ninja.
He is a ninja with these units.
He's not Captain America. He's Ninja America.
And Polt sees the units go back, though. So he probably won't continue on with this now.
This is great anticipation here. Man, both players, without seeing much, they're able to anticipate everything that the other one does, basically. Which is pretty insane right now. Really trying to outdo each other. He has Blink.
Yeah, he has Blink, but he also has Time Warp. And can jump for this. He jumps immediately. And actually, Polt comes back. He comes with the reinforcements from the natural. Turns around this fight. And down goes the Mothership Core.
No Photon Overcharge to help with this, but Storm is almost finished. And there is a single Templar with almost enough energy for Storm. He's definitely gonna have Storm when it finishes.
So many small movements and little skirmishes, little missions from both players, but nothing really drastically happened there. If you look at the units lost tab, just nothing really killed. It was just back and forth, anticipating one thing, moving to another. Beautiful, diligent movement from both players. But we are now over to the next part of this game. 4 extra gateways coming in, Zealot Charge and Armor to be upgraded here for HerO.
Yeah, he's going up to 7 gateways, good number. And he's gonna get a few more. He's gonna go up to 9. He adds 2 more. So since he's still making probes, this should still be a third base.
Yeah, just like last time.
Yeah, you never expect anything else out of HerO. If you look at the last game, it was a great success from start to finish. So playing in a similar manner here on Yunsu, definitely gonna have a good chance to do well again. And that third base, Polt is delaying it so much just because of everything that happens here versus HerO. Remember versus Rain? He had the 8-minute command center starting every single time just because Rain was playing in such a passive way.
Not this time, though.
Yes.
Not this Protoss player, not that same style. He cannot use that. And Polt has got a pretty decent army set up, though, from these 5 barracks. 25 Marines, 9 Marauders. And he's starting to get quite proactive with his units. But where is that robotics facility that we've seen being built before? And I wonder if we are going to see that Warp Prism being used as well if we see that built very, very shortly.
He hasn't made a robotics facility,
and he's actually getting +1 attack as well.
Yeah. HerO is completely skipping detection. There it is.
But he's got +1 attack instead of going over to an armor upgrade. What do you think about that?
This is a bit weird. Maybe he didn't have enough gas at the time, but it's not that much difference.
Yeah.
Only 75, so a little bit surprised with that here. Actually, you're 50 gas mineral. I don't even know.
Well, Polt's going to take his third base now, while putting a bit of pressure onto HerO, keeping away from taking a third of his own. And there's a good time warp and a pretty good set of storms there.
Yeah.
And he's going to clean up a lot of that. Polt does try to come from that top left, but is denied.
That Mothership Core is not in good shape. I think we can safely say that. And okay, have he skipped detection for such a long time? The third base could have been prevented from being taken. Oh, one of those Medivacs is gonna die here. If there was Widow Mines on each, definitely would delay this a little bit more. It's not the case. I wouldn't be surprised if HerO starts the third base very, very soon here. But he's still being pressured quite heavily.
Yeah, and the Mothership Core is gonna die. And well, at least he gets to come back with full health.
Polt picked off a pile on the left-hand side of the map, found that one quite nicely. We have another one on the right-hand side. Wouldn't be surprised if HerO starts warping in some Zealots and sends them into the third base of his opponent, which as much as he hasn't scouted it. Look, he's sending in a Zealot right now from the right-hand side. He knows this is probably there. He's gonna check. He needs to know. He needs to find out. And double upgrades being started behind this by HerO. He needs the third base quite a lot here.
Yeah, he's about to take it, but a Marine just pushed the probe away. And he will try to retake that again. That
20 Zealots charged it.
Yeah, that was a bit of a bully move there. But that Zealot there himself has got 3 kills into the SCV line. Better than nothing, because so far we haven't really seen that much harassment come out from HerO in this game. Compared to the last couple, it was 70 odd and then 50 in the game afterwards. So pretty good for Polt. He's able to keep his economy really flowing, and he's increasing his army by second and second here.
I really like that both players are trying to be everywhere, by the way, with their scouts and basically being constantly active. Ooh. It looked like that Marauder was dancing while he was shooting, man. That was a little bit scary here for a second. Polt again, up to his old tricks. He's going to attack through 2 positions, but there is an observer that spotted this.
And HerO's pretty well spread, actually.
Oh, yeah.
He's more than capable to defend against this. And with 2 to... Oh, actually, I say defend against it, but he's caught a little bit out of position on the third, but with a time warp there and units moving quite fast, the reaction was good for him not to lose his Nexus. That would have been quite disastrous.
Yeah. Quite a bad time warp if you think about it. There was Medivacs, there was no way he could catch this.
Yeah.
Definitely better to save the 100 energy for a photon overcharge later on.
Well, we've got the Warp Prism into the game, so we are going to see some more SCVs slaughtered. Everybody likes to see that. So the Warp Prism should be on the way towards a base very, very soon here. And in the middle of the map, we are going to have a bit of a small fight once again, and that will go in favor of Polt to begin with. Did pick off a Zealot. But still very back and forth, just lots of small little fights here.
And I'm getting really scared here because Polt is getting he made a sensor tower, he's getting a force command center. Does he go into passive mode from here? This is when we've seen him do that before, he went into very, very passive mode, and that did not bring him much success. I have to think back on that Frost game versus Rain, and in which I thought he was so far ahead. Oh, actually those units on the left hand side have to be careful. This is going to get chased down by HerO. We have a Warp Prism on the bottom right-hand side that's going to run into a tower, a turret, actually.
Yeah, and it's going to... there's a sensor tower here that's going to give him much warning, so he shouldn't really lose any SCVs to this.
Or?
It's like both of them.
They're not looking, they're looking elsewhere. Right now we have a big drop in the main.
A big drop in the main, and that's going to get dealt with quite easily. There's a lot of Zealots there, so the focus must be on that third base. No one is really reacting to that down south. The Warp Prism's still floating and there's no units to deal with that. There is action everywhere. Inside the main base is dealt with. The third base is dealt with as well. And that means the Warp Prism comes back into play, and there it is dropped. Hey, you've got High Templar in there, HerO. Don't forget.
He's maybe hoping for some units to get in there. If he got some crazy feedbacks on these... oh, this is gonna die!
Yeah, 2 High Templar. Don't survive the plane crash.
A paper plane crash.
A paper plane crash. Not the best plane to be in.
3-3's on the way.
And a lot of ghosts now been added on too. HerO's got to be careful not to overextend. He's already done that once in this series, and it almost, well, it did cost him the game. And there's a retreating Storm. One High Tempo does get picked off though.
This army of Polt is very, very scary. There is not many Colossus yet out. Actually, not a single one.
Yeah, it's just now being built. And he doesn't have Thermal Lance on the way or anything, so this is a non-Colossus army for the time being.
It's going to be very hard to hold here for HerO, but look at how well he spread out his Templars. And actually, Polt not choosing to go for an attack. Yeah, I don't think he realized how strong this timing would have been here. He starts researching personal cloaking. He has 2 more command center on the way. And he's going to play a very long game here, quite possibly versus HerO. I wouldn't be surprised if HerO takes to Tempest very, very soon if he realizes that, which I don't think he has just yet.
Well, HerO moves forward through the middle of the map once again. There's a lot of Terran here. And Polt does scan see the Colossus and has begun his Viking production. He's going to take the high ground here.
Whoa!
And he's going to EMP all onto that ramp. The High Templar dodges the EMP somehow. And this fight going in favor of HerO. Despite the EMPs, he's got a lot of units and they are well upgraded. Hit right before that +2 armor finished on these bio units. And HerO takes a 25 supply lead.
I was very skeptical when he moved in there, but he's actually done a ton of damage. The army of Polt was not in a great position. He came from behind with some units, but a lot of those got stormed, and the EMPs, they were not great.
Yeah, it looked like they were pretty good, but he missed a lot of the main core, which is the High Templar he needs to keep away from being able to storm, and he didn't do that. But here comes the reinforcements. 9 Zealots just charge right up and join together with the rest of this. And is this game starting to leave Polt's control?
Yeah, it is. Look at the supply. It's falling so rapidly right now. Oh, he's in a good position behind that starport here. Those units would have to be kind of blocking each other to move in there. Actually, Polt is chasing. No, this is a mistake. He needs to pull back.
Well, 2 ghosts there fighting a Colossus. Gonna need some help there, bros, and here come the Marauders. And they do help that Colossus. It's 3-3 now for this Protoss army. And a great storm from the high ground. A great second one. And the Marauders sit in that, and 3 or 4 of them immediately die. There's another good one as well. And HerO is just absolutely hammering this one home at the time being with another 9 Zealots to help reinforce this. Polt is running out of steam. He's lost that 4th base on the left-hand side. He's starting to lose this fight overall.
Running out of steam quite literally, because his army is all red, and those Medivacs not doing too much healing anymore.
And a Warp Prism in the main base actually gets all those Zealots in. And that is going to be a nightmare to deal with. And HerO could be looking at a 3-1 lead in this best of 7. Some victory storms come out, and 3-1 to HerO. 1 game away from taking the championship here at the Intel Extreme Masters. And Polt has his work cut out for him. Needs 3 games in a row.
these War Prism harassments, man. They are really the story of these games, I feel, so far. They are doing so much damage every single time. And HerO has really found a way to deal very, very well with Polt here. Polt, who looks so convincing throughout the entire tournament against all the Protosses that he played against, he's getting completely crushed here so far in these grand finals. HerO is everywhere. He's sending in zealots in every single base. And it kind of feels like every time he does that, Polt cannot deal with it well enough to win the games. The one game that he won, it was basically HerO attacking too early, making a huge misstep. He was still quite far ahead before that. So as much as before I said that basically Polt kept on falling behind early on, just because of the build orders of HerO, who always got the better end of his opponent early on. Right now, I really think that the biggest problem is going to be those War Prism harassment. That HerO is basically, he might be the best player at harassment with Protoss in general. Not only with War Prism, also with Oracles. This guy style, he gets into your face. Right from the start of the game. Be it with Blink Stalkers, be it with a War Prism, be it with an Oracle. He's going to be attacking, you can be sure of that. And his attacks, they do way too much for Polt to be able to win in those games. And
it's not only critical damage dealt with this style, it's also very entertaining the way that HerO plays. And that's one of the main reasons he's got such a large fan base. And Protoss players follow his lead, really. And it's been quite a display so far from Liquid HerO, now up 3 games to 1. We're going over to Daedalus Point next, and if HerO has really looked at how Polt played out the tournament so far, pretty much every single series he's played that he's had a chance to veto, Daedalus Point has always been Polt's veto. He finds this the hardest out of all maps in the map pool to deal with the different types of play that Protoss can give to him.
It's a funny situation because I think Terrans veto it because of the blink play, but since it's the reason they veto it for that, it's like really to be expected, but it's kind of a situation where even though it's expected, it's actually really hard to defend. So from there, HerO is pretty much the one who has the choice. Does he go for it or does he not? He's up
3
by a
games
few games.
To 1, so definitely has the option to go for it and the kind of the cushion to fall back on if it doesn't work. He's still going to be in the lead, even if this completely fails, he'd be up 3 games to 2 and with still 2-game advantage. So we'll find out what HerO's going to choose when we do get ready to load into this next map. Is HerO going to find his first Intel Extreme Masters tournament on Daedalus Point? He's been voted MVP, most valuable player, from the fans in Shanghai, but now can he actually claim a trophy? The trophy's nice and small, very compact, can fit with his 2 DreamHack trophies, his WCS and NASL trophy, and he will be going up there to 5 StarCraft 2 championships with this next map.
He's been close before, actually, if you think about it. In Shanghai, he finished top 4, I think, after losing to Oz in semifinals. So he's been up there, but hasn't won a title in the Intel Extreme Masters just yet.
Neither is this guy, and it would be a massive comeback in a best of 7 when you're 3-1 down. 3 games in a row needed from Polt, just 1 for Liquid HerO. Is he going to find himself another StarCraft 2 tournament? We can find out now as we load in. Down to the bottom right. Sponsored by CM Storm. It's the Korean-American kinda Polt. And of course, Korean-born and bred, lives in America, has a visa to play StarCraft there, and has a lot of American fans supporting him through thick and thin. And then up here, there's the blue Protoss player playing for Team Liquid. It's HerO. Do you think he uses Blink here? Does he use that cushion advantage? Would you use that cushion advantage if you were in his position? Or would you just play it out?
I'm pretty horrible, so I don't think we should wander too much into that, but
I would blink, man. I would blink the way to victory. Do it in style.
I guess if he does it, this is as good as it is. It kind of feels like a little bit of a situation where he's basically only doing it also because he's up by this many games and definitely going to be anticipated here. And if he does it also, I'd be curious to see which version it is. There's so many versions of the Blink play. There is the pressure one. It's been called a Blink all-in too much, actually, I feel. Yeah. If you have a decently saturated natural, even if you get 5 gates and you do Blink Stalkers, this is not actually an all-in.
Yeah.
And even I guess if you make like a crazy move, like blinking into your opponent's army and then time warping after, once you start losing everything, this move is an all-in in itself. But going for 5 gateways and blink, not necessarily an all-in. You can transition out of it. Even in the last game, we saw it. Protoss players, when they go for blink, when they see it's not gonna work, they go into storm, they go into charge, and they transition very
fast.
well.
Yeah, they do switch out really, really fast here. Polt, by the way, scouted around the third base just in case there was any proxies there, in case that HerO was to recycle that build that he used in the first map after the draw had been called.
Recycle it.
Yeah, recycle
nice word.
it. Yeah. Got it back from the bin. Brought it back. But no, that's not the case here. As Polt will be going for his Reaper expansion. And we do have just a single gas so far. But this has actually become really, really popular in Korea recently, is that it really throws the Terran off because, I mean, Terran players come in and they go, cool, 1 gas, all right. I'm not going to see a Stargate or Twilight Council. But then in recently Korea, they've been adding the gas straight after like we see now and then still doing it anyway. So as the Terran player, you can't really use gas timings to help you out anymore.
But you know the timing is quite delayed if you do that. And as Terrans, if you learn the timings on the clock at which an Oracle will fly in, you just have to be ready until then. And then once that timing has passed, you can basically sort of figure out
Stargate?
Yeah.
Stargate.
And it's funny, as I say that, I realized that now, since this is going to be proxied, I'm guessing this is going to be a Stargate, just assuming here.
Yeah.
The timing might be completely different, because this is a proxied Stargate. This is going to get there much faster. Then again, could still be some kind of Twilight play.
And Polt hasn't gone immediately to look around the map yet. I'm not too sure if he's actually clicked that the third pylon is on the other side of the map from this point. And with a Stalker about to pop out, this is going to be very difficult for him to read into. This is a massive main base.
You know, this is funny because going for this, we've talked about the way Terran would expect Blink on this map. Defending for Blink is basically the opposite than defending for Stargate. You need turrets instead of bunkers. You need a lot of Marines, not mortars. And this is going to be very difficult for Polt to deal with here if he does not realize very soon what he's up against. Then again, he has the factory.
Yeah, he has Widow Mines.
If he's able to sense this coming and he picks off the first Oracle with a Widow Mine, he's going to have a tremendous lead. But I just don't see it happening.
Yeah, he's not looking. He doesn't believe that there's anything out there here. He's just kept in the middle of the map with his Reaper.
Do you think he scans? If he scans and sees that there's nothing in the main...
He scanned the natural, though, last time he tried to scan at this point.
And this is such a big map to scan on, too. Like, there's almost no way you would ever see anything. I think he might sack his Reaper here, just to try and get some information. The thing is, this is the difficult part of the matchup for the Terran.
But there are Marines inside the mineral line. There's 4.
Yeah.
So...
Have you ever seen 4 Marines?
No, I've seen 6, sorry. I've seen 6. I've seen 4 and 6.
6 Marines win 4. They take a lot of damage. I'm not actually sure if you survive. I think you survive with very little hit points and keep on killing SCVs.
But this is a good start here for Polt. I mean, he's not... Well, actually, he goes in for the 6 Marines here. And, well, okay.
Oh, 2 of them, actually. I couldn't even see. I thought it was 4 myself.
Yeah. 6.
Man, they were like ninja. He seriously is a ninja. They were ninja inside the SCVs.
Because, I mean, I said 4 at first because I saw them and I was like, oh, there's 6. And then HerO clearly didn't see that either. But there is another Oracle going straight in. He's already killed off a few. And there's again 6. So he's going to be able to push that back. And that Oracle didn't really do too much. And more importantly, is the Oracle is not really there for detection. He does have cannons added on, which is a nice part of his build here to protect himself against this factory and Widow Mine drop.
I like that HerO did the most standard follow-up, or at least what you need to do when you go for an Oracle like this. He got the Forge very quickly, he's made cannons to make sure he was safe versus Widow Mines. And behind this, wouldn't be surprised if he goes into a Twilight and additional gateways. There goes the 2 additional gateways.
Yeah.
Oh, that natural of HerO here, gonna be dropped.
Yeah, and the Widow Mine does borrow, but he pulls out, pulls 1 probe in there, and just gets 1 probe kill. But there are 2 Oracles, but the natural mineral line is completely naked.
It is naked.
It is completely naked. There is no defense here whatsoever. I'm not sure if he's worried about Widow Mines. Oh, there is 1 Widow Mine borrowed in there. God, you trickster,
and he knows,
Polt.
Just because of the way the SCVs were pulled here.
You trickster. I was fooled then.
Man, the ninja. The ninja Terran.
And the alarm bell's ringing here as Oracles are flying all around. Terrans have sounded the alarm.
To the bunkers.
To the bunkers. The Oracles are out.
Alright, so the Forge already upgrading the level 1 ground armor here for HerO. Twilight Council following this up, very, very standard transition here. Most likely, again, going to be going for the charge, for the very, very quick storm. We're going to need to keep an eye on how quickly he starts his Templar Archives. But look at the Mothership Core, 200 energy. This is going to be very hard for Polt to do apply any kind of pressure before storm finishes. And look, the Templar Archive starts so quickly here.
Oh, look at this. He actually moves into the natural here, and the Widowmine had been moved.
Oh,
so
he had used Envision. So he could have basically spotted it if it was there.
And it wasn't, so...
Actually, could he spot it if it was behind a mineral patch and there was SCVs? This is a little bit risky. Oh, there's a Widowmine in the middle of the map. Boom!
Headshot!
I can dance all day.
Yeah, I can dance all day. This Reaper's the one that's dancing all day, looking around, scouting whatever he can find. Scan goes down inside the main base of HerO, and he has a look what's there, and just kind of sees a lot of gateways in the Twilight Council, so he knows again that he's most likely playing against the Templar Archives tech choice, and is just continuing to power off 5 gateways from this point. A Ghost Academy would be a decent response here to be thrown down, but he is just powering from these 5 barracks.
Yeah, you know, Terrans, they've been very reluctant to go into Ghost quickly, and this is mostly because the Ghost is a very mineral-heavy unit, I think.
Yeah, 200 minerals, very expensive.
This is a lot. You cannot get many of them early on 2 bases. So they usually wait until they're on 3 bases and then they start it.
And Hallucinated Colossus there. Hasn't tricked anybody yet.
Man, this Oracle patrolling, what is he going to do if it's his medivacs on the left-hand side? It's actually patrolling above. Is that Ultralisk dead down there?
Yeah, he's actually
still
snapped
alive?
his neck.
Really?
Oh, his neck is
How
broken.
do you snap the neck of an Ultralisk? You will need to be like Godzilla or something. I don't even know who could do that.
Maybe
Not even Hulk.
Maybe he fell off the cliff. Just fell off the side. You never know. Overlord's over there as well. This is a terrible map for Zerg.
Thank God
Stats
it's a
sometimes say the difference, I think, for that. But as you can see, Polt now is climbing up. He's deflected the double oracles. He's taken his 3rd base.
Oh, the Reaper almost failed on the 3rd base of HerO. He was getting
alive.
chased down.
And this is, I mean, Polt's in pretty good shape. You know, he's not really phased by being 3 games down.
We've seen this scenario before, though. This is the part where he's going to start falling apart against the War Prism. Most likely. So
yeah,
I know this didn't sound very good for Polt.
Alright, this is where he loses to the Warp Prism. The Warp Prism is active. It's on the left-hand side here, and will be trying to make its way. It's got 2 High Templar and 2 Zealots inside, and obviously we know where that's going to go, towards the natural mineral line. But
there's going to be a Marine spotting this, so this is going to be Polt's chance to redeem himself compared to before with what happens. He's going to have a better chance to defend seeing this coming, but we've seen him before spot this, but still losing quite heavily to it.
Well, does he even notice? Does Polt even see that on the minimap?
He does. Surely he does.
Well, he didn't look at it. I was looking through his vision. He didn't look at it.
Oh, God.
So,
it's in his natural.
Oh, okay, good reactions there. Good storm. Doesn't really kill anything, though, but does damage a lot of the SCVs. Weakened for another time, and a big warp in there. And that is a big warp in, and that's going to allow HerO to even move across the map.
Oh, my God.
Oh, there's one pretty good one in between the refinery and the command center. A second one goes down, and then a 3rd one as well. And HerO's moving across the map here, Todd.
The SCVs got showered in the storm, man.
They did. It was a storm shower. And the 3rd command center is about to get absolutely ravaged as the Zealots charging every single SCV is most likely going to die here.
Force field.
Great force fields on the ramp. There's 2 High Templar on the other side of those force fields. And HerO takes a nice bit of a pretty good big lead here.
Just in the same way he did before.
Yeah.
I know I announced it. I was kind of hoping this would go better, but no. 27 SCVs have died. And there's more in the main. More Zealots. And more SCVs dying.
And Polt is sitting in storms outside his 3rd base there. And he's getting dropped inside the main. And this is, again, some wonderful moves from HerO, allowing him to get a lead in here. And we can see a big 40 supply difference. 3rd base not mine. 30 SCVs have been killed in this game. And HerO is smelling a bit of weakness here. He is going to charge forward once again. And he does have a couple of storms behind this. And if Polt tries to engage there, he will get stormed upon. The Vikings. Well, you guys are going to die pretty fast. And, well, more and more reinforcements backing this up. Storm's still available if Polt was to charge down that ramp. There isn't a forward pylon. There isn't a Mortal 2. And there's a storm. Doesn't really kill too much off there. And Polt starting to equalize up in supply a little bit here, but still Storm's available. And another good one on that ramp. And a continuing charge in HerO. He's about to have +3 armor, and that's going to actually mean a lot in these fights. And the medivacs are so low on energy, they're hardly getting healed at this point. And the army supply in favor of Polt. He's starting to push this back a little bit. The onslaught from HerO, rather aggressive. A missed Storm there on that ramp. 2-2 about to kick in, though. That can help change things.
Oh, there's too many gates, and he's going to keep on reinforcing with Zealots. There's still so many Storms.
Well, not anymore. Well, one more. And it seems like I'm not too sure he's winning this. This is a really back and forth battle, but the Archon started to deal out a lot. More and more units are going to be warped in for this for HerO. Like you said, he's got a massive amount of gateways. Is this going to be the moment that Liquid HerO takes his Intel Extreme Masters Championship? The Archons go down pretty fast. Immortal right behind it, still dealing out damage. Polt hanging on for everything he's worth here, but he's not mining from that third. HerO is mining from 3 bases now. But it looks like HerO is going to settle down a little bit. We have a Warp Prism being made. We have the Robotics Bay, and Polt hangs on. A great hold there from Polt.
Great hold, but
really
he's lost
tense
so
one.
many SCVs. 38 SCVs right now to 68 probes. 41 SCVs have been killed. This has been the story of these games. And I think I just figured out what's tattooed on HerO's arm.
Kill the SCVs.
No. 1, make a Warp Prism. 2, profit. This is it's that simple for him.
Yeah, he's been using the Warp Prism and his harassment technique so well here. The supplies are equal, but as you said, it is major when it comes to the income difference by both players. Right now there's mules coming down obviously onto that third, so it looks a little bit different than it should, but HerO is going to continue this. He's got double Warp Prisms now. Really just illustrating how useful these are. He's going to go to the natural and also towards the main base, apparently.
Those stack enemies going down. But too little, too late. How many Storms have been used this game? It's like been 80 or something.
And there's another good couple of Storms there. That's really, really solid. 44 workers gone down. Colossus switch.
Even drops right back into this.
4. And then the warp inside the main base here. It's just never ending.
Do you think he just looked at his... Oh,
yeah?
He remembered this time.
No, he remembered this time.
Okay.
He forgets every now and then, but this time wasn't the case. A storm from the high ground down onto the low third command center, but yes, the Ghost Academy's in. He's not really building Ghost at this point. He's lost 60 workers. How is he going to deal with the Colossus pumping out now? He doesn't have any Vikings. He doesn't really have any money.
Yeah, it's just going to be no way. Polt's just going to try to make as many Bioforces, even without Ghost, as possible.
Yeah.
Try to get a fight in the middle of the map with an open concave, an open field, in which case the AoE is going to be... It's going to be much harder for the AoE to do a lot of damage. But in this case, there's just so much supply for... so much good supply by HerO. Because even though he's a little bit behind in army supply, he has so many Templars. He has 4 Templars, 2 Colossus, 15 Zealots. He has better upgrades. He's 3-1 against 2-2. And 3-3 starts now for Polt. This is way too late. Just because of all the damage he took, we have a 4th base on the way. And I think, Polt is actually going to do the thing he's best at. He's going to attack on 2 fronts. And this is going to be his best chance at coming back here.
Yeah, well, let's hope he can make the comeback here. This series would go on, but if not, then HerO would be walking away with the trophy. He's defending his 4th base rather well because he has his main units over there, but a probe gives HerO a bit of a heads up. As Polt sprints towards the natural, there is a high tempo, but not enough energy to storm.
Yeah.
5 Zealots to get warped in, but then again, if HerO comes back to defend this, then he's not going to be defending his 4th base. The 4th base can easily be cancelled. Probes come off the line here, which is very surprising, but he does defend it, and the Nexus goes down. Killing 3 Nexus?
Oh, he's going to hit the other one.
Trick.
The Nexus Sniper is at it.
He's at it again.
The Ninja Nexus Sniper, man. He comes from every side. He comes from the dark and he snipes them.
He does. Imagine if he got the 4th one. That would be absolutely amazing.
He might go for it. Oh, he's going for it.
No way.
No, he's going for it. There's no money. Just for the principle.
He's going for it.
Just for revealing him.
Go on, go for it. You want to reveal him. He's going to kill all 4 Nexus in just 2 moves.
Oh, and those Colossi, they're stuck on the 3rd base behind the middle for a second here. They're kind of mating, you know, doing the dance. And luckily for HerO, he had the money to remake 1 of these Nexus.
Wow.
2 of these Nexus, sorry. If he only had the money to make 1, he would have been in quite some trouble right now because a lot of probes would have been doing long distance mining. He has 61 probes and he's not even mining right now.
That's crazy.
This is ridiculous.
I can't believe he just killed off 4 Nexus like that. And Polt's found himself a way back into this game. He's brought him. Oh, well, these medevacs going down. That's not so good there.
It appears Polt has his own playbook.
He does.
Which says, snipe Nexus.
Snipe the Nexus.
2, profit.
Yeah. And it's definitely working. He's taken a supply lead in this game. And he's been able to increase his Viking count. That was a big problem because HerO was just flying ahead with this game. And Polt seems to have found a way back into this.
Yeah, but this is going to be enough. He's ahead on supply, but again, we don't have any ghosts. We don't have much Vikings, but actually only 2 Colossi, which are stuck. Oh, okay, no, they collapsed.
Are they mating again, Todd?
They can't help it.
Well, there is still, of course, 61 Pro. They just need somewhere to deposit the money. They need a bank. And that Nexus is about to complete on natural. And third base as well. But here, we have a 20 supply difference between the 2 players. Ghost now been added into the mix. Let's have a look at the actual crucial unit count. 6 High Templar, 2 Colossus versus 0 Ghosts, about to be 3, and 7 Vikings.
And you know, these upgrades, I thought they were late, but they completed. And now Polt is on 3-3 upgrades against 3-2 Protoss. He has the Vikings. Well, he almost has enough Vikings to counter the Colossi. Actually, no, there is only 2 Colossi. So he has enough Vikings to deal with this.
But not enough Ghosts right now to really deal with the High Templar.
Yes, that's the big problem. But he might have enough army to take a fight in a good position to possibly win the game. It's going to be very difficult, but he can do it. And a 4 Medivac drop in the main.
Yeah,
he wants a Nexus, but there is none.
He'll have to settle for something else here. There are a couple of High Templars. They do have Storms, but this spread of units is pretty delicious. And, well, he actually walks into a couple of those Storms, and that is a decent defense there.
Where's the Nexus?
Where's the Nexus? I wanted the Nexus. And Polt survives with a lot of the Marauders and Marines there, but HerO's refusing to move from the 3rd base, expecting a second attack, but he's going to lose a lot of his infrastructure. The Cybernet's core, the gateways are going to get turned off and killed.
This is a big deal here. Polt really has found a good way to extend his lead without committing to a big fight, and this is great when he can do this.
And he scans and sees that there's no units on that 3rd base now, so starts to make his movement before there were a couple of High Templar, but as soon as the main army goes to the main base, he picks up and gets out while expanding at the same time. Polt has found some extra energy here, a couple of extra gears to go. I mean, this tournament's going on for 14-15 hours today, and he's found some extra power, and he's really showing it here in this 5th game.
Oh, he's getting chased down. He's gonna have to be careful. He steams away. Nice control with the Watchtower, seeing this coming. If he had not paid attention here, he could have paid a high price for it. Actually, it feels like Polt, his army doesn't look that big for the supply that he has, but it's because he's so spread out across the map. And the Templar Archive is going to be remade here. HerO's army does look pretty scary as well, by the way. Does Polt go for PF here? I'm a little bit surprised. He's not that rich right now, but he's taking the right-hand side base, probably going to be taking the bottom left-hand side as well. He could actually fly his main orbital command somewhere, because no more money there.
Yeah. I'm just... Where can HerO... I mean, what can HerO really do? Is he going to try and take a 4th? Wherever he moves, he's still going to get dropped all the time by the huge amount of army supply that Polt has, and as you can see, here comes another one. HerO's lost his standing a little bit in this game, and Polt seems to be at every corner that HerO turns to.
Those 3-3 Marauders, man, they do so much every time they are dropped. Even though there's Storms, even though there's Zealots, as I say that, they kind of get crushed, but they did the work already. They cleaned up so much in the main here. I'm actually surprised that HerO is getting Immortals instead of Colossus right now. He gave up on Colossi production. He's like, you know what, you're probably going to have enough Vikings, so I want those Vikings not to be useful in the fight. I'm just going to get a lot of Immortals. And in this case, has he blocked his own base on the left-hand side? Can he make a Nexus? There is a Pylon like kind of in the middle.
Yeah.
And he needs that Nexus. Look, his natural is mined out. He's getting a Dark Shrine now. 28 probes out of 24 on his natural. He needs another base.
He needs another base, and he needs a larger army, really, because Polt is just starting to really climb up.
He's looking for a Nexus, man.
He's looking for a Nexus. Didn't find one, but he's going to help cleaning that Pylon up because someone had to get rid of it, and it's going to be Polt. Polt, from this position, is just really controlling this game with being able to take a 4th base and even just making sure he doesn't die to a counterattack. He's got turret, planetary fortress, ghost Vikings back at home. He is looking to be able to try to bring this series back in his own favor. Would, of course, need a lot more than just this map.
And this is... this has to be frustrating. This drop again in the main by Polt with Duna. Gonna do quite some damage, I think. for HerO, who always seems to be preparing for this, but never leaves enough units, this has to be so frustrating. This could be the beginning of a comeback here. With Polt, I really feel like he has gained some momentum winning this game, or at least getting in a very good position to possibly win it.
Yeah, it started to seem a little bit out of his control as HerO was making all the right moves, was making all the right harassment, and Polt was just on the receiving end for every single decision in this game, but it's now he is the one doing all of this.
He's played this so well. After a disaster of a start, he's really brought himself back into this game. He hasn't won yet. As good as I think he's doing, he's actually leaving a lot of his army back. It really feels like he never wants to commit to a big fight unless he's sure he's going to win it. So he brings small portions of his army, which actually are big chunks of army every time, and he deals with whatever he's being faced with as well as possible.
Well,
he's going to have to pull back quite much.
HerO is starting to climb up in supply again, though. He's up to 160. And he's going to take a 4th base, but of course Polt's going to be there with his medivacs, and he is going to drop towards it once again. He's been told that there's a Nexus around, so of course he's going to be there, and he's going to come and cancel this immediately once again, and continues to be the case there. HerO just gives it up immediately. And
you shall not expand.
You shall not expand.
You shall not mine at all.
And HerO definitely, because he's about to run out of minerals on his last mining patch, and that storm was a bit of a whiffed one. Second one, kind of the same.
Actually, he has so many probes, 50 compared to 42 SCVs, but he's not mining much. The mineral patch is quickly disappearing. Oh, and taking out those gateways, this is going to be big. Against her HerO, that's going to be broke. That's pretty much already broke right now.
But this is putting HerO into a position where it could be checkmate soon. He may be forced into an attack. He's going to have to rebuild a lot. He's down in supply. Yes, he was climbing to 160, but now he's dropped down to 135 again. And he is going to come clean this up, but Polt's going to just pick up and evacuate one more time. And I wonder when Polt's going to make that final decision to say, all right, it's time, really.
Actually, I think it might be HerO that does that first. He might, if his Nexus gets sniped one more time, just one more time, I'm telling you, he's going to say enough is enough. He's going to move across the map, go for the fight.
Well, here's Polt actually gathering his forces together. He says, all right, I have tortured you long enough in this game. And he is going to go for it. He has a huge army. He's close to max out, and he's got hardly any SCVs. It means his army supply is like 150, 100 to 60. So a massive, massive army for Polt. And this is just that Nexus, a big march towards a victory.
He cancels.
It's like, all right, screw you. Gateway's cybercore has to be rebuilt, and Polt scans and sees hardly anything down there.
Oh, medivacs are getting hunted down on the top left-hand side, but they are actually over that bridge. Oh, one of them gets feedback.
Yeah, but look at this. This is a great army that Polt has been building over the last 15 minutes. Great EMPs, and everything is just going to get destroyed. It's rather simple here. And Polt, maintaining his high supply count, is going to take another one. He's going to scratch another game to his name, and even landing the Vikings just to really wrap this one up. It's 180 supply to 53. GG's called. Polt doesn't give this up yet, even though it seemed like HerO was looking to take the tournament. Polt stamps in another game in his favor. 3 games to HerO, 2 for Polt.
He's very resilient. I think a lot of people would kind of fell apart from there, be thinking like, well, you know what, I've lost 4-1, gone for an attack and lost it. But Polt was like, you know what, I'm just going to keep on attacking, and I'm going to do what I did best this tournament, attack from many sides. And I think somebody needs to make a highlight, man, out of this. What was his 4 Nexi snipe?
Yeah, that at one
was
time.
Pretty sick.
Yeah, it was 4 Nexus all at the same time. Really, really good.
It's like a new saying, you know, when your Protoss went behind Dark Shrine, Asterion went behind,
go for
drop
4
and kill
Nexus. Yeah, and that was some beautiful moves there from Polt. He's not in the lead yet, he's still trailing, and it's still match point here for Liquid HerO, staring at the Intel Extreme Masters trophy. It's not far away, it's not too far out of his reach. And we talked about how if he did do something pretty wild on that game, he's always got a cushion, and he's using it now, even though he didn't do anything wild. But we're going over to the next map, which is Polar Night. So Polar Night, not one of the maps that we see too many Blink plays on here. It's still viable, but we don't see it all the time here. And I'm thinking that Polt, as you've described, is getting a bit of momentum back in his side, and may be able to take this one. We could go to Game 7.
We could. If you think about it, though, he's really been struggling in his finals, and HerO, here if he had not started messing up with his army positioning, with his scouting a little bit. If he didn't get surprised by those medivacs, again, he would have been able to secure this game.
Yeah.
It really feels like all the games here, it's very easy to find out the mistakes just because we're observing. We see everything. So you're like, well, if he had done that and that, and everything seems so obvious. I don't think we miss much.
Yeah.
But for them, not having as much information as us, this is actually really, really hard to read into this. And both of them are playing so well, actually.
Yeah, it's been a fantastic tournament, and this is a fantastic wrap-up to the end of the tournament as well. 4-day-long tournament, and we only have 2 players remaining. And who is going to take that trophy? Who is going to be the Intel Extreme Masters Cologne champion? We're not too far away from finding that out now. Could be Liquid HerO if he takes this next map on Polar Night. Looks like both players are ready to begin. So I'm quite excited to see which way this is going to swing here. Do you still favour HerO, even though Polt had that momentum in this game? I think everybody's really favouring HerO to take this. But Polt is displaying some pretty strong resilience, as you said.
He's looking a little bit bothered here. You see? His expression for a second, almost grabbing his headset and maybe throwing it on the ground. No, maybe not. He's not QXC.
Not that shiny new HyperX headset he's got around his neck.
But HerO's been known to get upset over losses, be very sad, so the match is not over here. It's not time to get upset. It's time to stay focused, and he's going to have to do just that if he wants to be able to be the champion here.
All right, let's load in to map number 6 here of the Grand Finals. And up here to the top of Polar Night is the Red Terran. It's none other than Polt. And then, of course, down here at the south side of Polar Night is the blue Protoss player playing for Team Liquid. It's HerO. And I know a lot of you out there who are watching this have probably been with us since the beginning of today. So thank you very much for staying with us on the stream. Thank you very much if you're still in the audience. I don't even know if there's anyone out there right now in the ESL studios. So thank you very much. It's been quite a day. It's been quite a trek. Oh, I can hear someone. I think I can hear someone. Someone's there at least. I think I heard Demago, and it's probably Carmack. All right, so map number 6. What are the strategies that we're going to see from both of these players? Is anybody going to try and risk it for an easier victory? Is HerO trying to close it up fast? Does Polt try to get a fast one here somehow?
You know, as much as we were talking how HerO, he had a nice lead at the start of the previous game, and he could be trying something a little bit different just because of that lead. Now, things are getting serious. You don't want to allow Polt to ignite a comeback here. If Polt was to win the next game, the score would be 3-3. They will go down to the very last map. You do not want to let that happen here as HerO. So definitely going to be playing his very best. You see, he goes for the quick scout. He's done the same wall-off in his main as he always does. And on the other side, we do see, again, the Reaper opener from his opponent. So both players doing their best build, or their best opener, up until at least the 3rd minute. If they do something really stupid from now, I know I'm going to look foolish, but I'm pretty sure that's not going to happen.
Yeah, and Polt sends out just the SCV as normal here to get over the other side as fast as possible, and then the Reaper to follow this up. And the second gas not been taken here by HerO, so as you said, he's going to be going for this one gateway expansion once again. And Polt, that SCV did stop there for a second. Had to tie his shoelaces and then keep going.
You're doing great, Sean. For somebody who's been casting 14 hours, I'm actually impressed.
Hey, you too, man.
At how fresh you look.
How fresh I
Except for your jacket.
Hey. It's a sick jacket. Hey, HerO. Pro behind the natural of his opponent.
That's
Could see a Stargate again.
Yeah, the Reaper here actually is looking for something around his base. This has happened before. In the previous game, he was actually able to get that one probe, but this time, HerO's waiting a little bit more. He's actually properly hiding it. Remember last game? 3 minutes, 50 seconds. He went for it. He went for the scout. And this time he waited until 4:20, and there's still going to be a Reaper here in position to intercept that.
Not going to work, sorry, HerO. Polt's got your number. And there's the probe, and there's the Reaper, and this probe will die, and no scouting information available for you. So we have the double barracks behind this for Polt.
And it's always the same placement.
Yeah.
I'm starting to notice.
This is every single map, same place. Every single time here. Mothership Core is going to move out to the other side though, so this is going to be the weapon that HerO uses to try to get
Twilight Council.
a bit of information. Yeah, boy.
You think Blink? I think Blink.
Yeah, go for it, man.
On this map, definitely going to be quite decent. But again, this is the anti-Blink build from Polt. But knowing that HerO, we've seen before that on Yonsu, he knew the timing, he knew the army movement that was possible from his opponent. He anticipated very well where Polt was going to be. And it proved to be quite effective.
Mothership Core actually scouts the second barracks, gets into the mineral line here. Not going to get an SCV kill though, as Polt does pull his SCVs back. So we are going to see Blink again here. And you have to credit once again the war from Liquid HerO inside his base, keeping the Reaper from going around the back of the main base, and of course being forced into the Stalkers, which are on patrol move, and are trying to keep this Reaper out.
This is gonna be weird because again we had a similar situation on Yonsu, and in the end HerO it was the game where we went into kind of passive mode and tech to Storm, right? And then added the gateway. So does he do the same here? Or does he commit to Blink? Since he doesn't have a pylon across the map right now, you see he's sending a probe on the left-hand side. He could still choose to do the same. I think he knows he's being chased down now. So I think he's going to want to look to defend first and then possibly try to close it out with the Blink play. It's going to be very hard for Polt to actually make this attack work here.
Well, the Reaper tries to run past these Stalkers and gets nothing. The Mothership Core gets Photon Overcharge down and actually squeezes away. And that was a close one. Didn't want to lose that Mothership Core.
4 gateways are going to be used for this attack, and this is going to be a quite strong attack.
And this game shouldn't be a long one, really. Either Polt's going to hold this off, or HerO could be the champion.
What do you mean? It's going to be a draw.
Going to be a draw, man. He's going to flood his buildings. He's going to kill the Nexus, then flood the buildings.
Isn't that the sickest? Everybody starts doing that on ladder. Every time you leave your base as Protoss, 4 medivacs boost in and target the Nexus.
And then the buildings pick up. You're like, God damn it.
And then the chance winning is still lift off and forces the draw.
Nice micro here by HerO. He's got to be careful. There's Marauders actually coming from the north side.
Yeah.
This is interesting. HerO's decided to take a fight. Actually blinks away there in the last second.
Yeah, Polt, upon realizing he's up against Blink here, the right decision, I think, is to pull back and make sure he has enough to defend back at home. He shouldn't get too crazy about fighting this army in the middle of the map.
Yeah,
Even though he has team almost finished, 10 seconds away from finishing. This is a great build from Polt.
Yeah, this is good. And he moves out really nicely, slows HerO down, but Polt's got to be careful. He's supply blocked at 70 supply right now. His units are out in the middle.
Yeah.
And
look at the saturation.
There's a lot of Stalkers here. They're chasing down that army, maybe.
Yeah, but still, if you look at the saturation on natural of HerO, this is not an all-in here.
Yeah.
He's gonna transition out of this after it. He's just looking to gain an edge here with his Stalkers, and he's gonna find the army. He's gonna try to time warp it, but
oh, I think that blink was a bit too aggressive there. I'm not sure he saw the entire size of the army and actually loses a lot. That was a bit of a mistake there.
And the Mothership Core was already anticipating some kind of follow-up attack in the main. Too little, too early here.
So Templar Archives
it might die.
And no, it doesn't. It survives again, and HerO is going to clean up these units. This has bought Polt a lot of time, by the way. He's got, Medivacs out, Stim is done, 4th and 5th barracks. He trades off these units for time almost, and he replenishes them with that time given.
The walker count's very even, and behind this we're going to have HerO actually tech into Storm. This has to look like a commitment to Blink right now, just because of the amount of Stalkers. He actually brings up the ramp.
But he's got no time warp here at all. That's a crazy blink. SCV's come off the line here. HerO's trying to run back. He will blink back. And whoa, that was... a
little bit surprised here. HerO maybe losing his patience. He's losing his temper here a little bit.
Yeah, and he doesn't want to let that happen to him here. Polt going up to 5 barracks. Extra gateways coming in here for HerO. No forges, no robotics facility. It is just a lot of units.
Yeah, that's a bit weird. Usually he at least gets the 1 forge with the armor upgrades.
Yeah.
The thing is, he did saturate his expansion very early on here. So as soon as he has Storms, he could actually go for something like double forge and a robo and still have enough to defend.
Could he do just a really silly attack just off Templar?
Yeah, he could, but
okay, there's double forge.
He's making way too many probes for that.
Yeah.
You would cut a lot earlier than this, and he's not even going up to 8 gateways. He's going up to only 6 right now.
Oh, this is a nice counter here by HerO. The units move down, kill a pylon, and he moves forward into the main base. But there are a couple of units here. Blink not too far away from finishing. This is an interesting position he's found his Stalkers in. And
so interesting that he recalls, apparently.
Yeah.
Definitely the right choice here, I think. He was going to lose a lot.
Yeah.
He had probably anticipated that. You don't really get into the situation in the main of your opponent and be like, oh, maybe I can use a recall. Probably knew and wanted to trade some shields for SCVs or something like that. And it's weird, the cannon placement every time for those defensive cannons by HerO is a little bit weird. You see the one in the main?
Yeah.
Where it's placed? I guess if you leave a Templar and like one Zealot, you can defend quite a lot with reinforcements every time you warp in if you're being drops.
Yeah. That's a true in-control cannon, man.
The weirdly placed one.
The weirdly
Nobody
placed.
expects.
Yeah. That's exactly what an in-control cannon is.
Sentry was just swapped in. A little bit surprised at this point in the game. Maybe he wants to get an hallucination. Maybe he wants to get a force field, man. A single one.
A single force field. Or if he
Scare.
could save his energy for a nice little guardian shield to protect his army.
Yeah, but the Zealots, they always charge ahead.
Yeah.
They don't know anything about team play.
Nope. They need leashes. They should be held back. And so this is quite a good setup inside the main base here for HerO. 2 high tempo, a lot of energy, and quite a few zealots there with the in-control cannon supporting it.
When does the War Prism start?
Oh,
I guess
God,
it cannot start just yet because the robotics is
yeah,
being
as soon
made
as
just
that's
now.
finished.
You think? No observer first?
No, please, it's HerO.
Do you think he looks at the tattoo before starting anything?
Yeah, he's like, okay, so I should be going for the observer and I guess robotics, but wait a minute, my tattoo says build a war prism. So here we have HerO pushing forward, and Factory's caught in the middle, and this has actually been a common thing, actually lost that a lot, but hold that thought.
Oh, these Templars have a lot of energy, both in the main.
So he gets one of the storms off.
Yeah.
But good pickup there, does get out.
Look at the energy on those Templars in the middle of the map. That they can kill like 5 armies. And that
5 armies,
It's
yeah.
lucky because that's exactly what Storm has. He has a lot of army here.
Alright, but it's a good spread from Polt, and HerO moves forward. He's got no retreat here, only storms. And first one is pretty good, second one not as good. And this is interesting because he's going to run out of storms soon, and he may end up losing everything.
And actually, even though those units are red, they're going to be healed quite well.
Yeah.
If Polt uses some really nice stutter step, he's going to deal very well against this Zealot
There's
heavy
that
army.
one force field, Todd.
Oh god.
The sickest of one force fields. And HerO's sprinting forward here, kind of very aggressive. And, you know, he's got 2-2 on the way. He doesn't really need to be out here.
Yeah.
And once again, he definitely could have caught himself in a bad position, but he is going to retreat down the left and get back to his third.
I'm surprised Polt didn't chase, but I guess he was afraid of overextending here. And he should at least realize there was a pylon there, because surely he saw HerO reinforcing. He's actually moving across the map. And it's funny how he never brings his entire army. Oh, he's looking to start the Nexus sniping action here.
Oh yeah.
Look, if that big chunk of army at the Watchtower starts dropping in the main and the other part attacks in the third base, we could be seeing our first 2 Nexi dying. And then the draw starts from there.
And the warp prism was made before the observer
I
too.
know you want one more draw, I want one more. Or maybe Polt wins this game and then we draw like 3 times in the last game.
And then it becomes a coin. Then it becomes a coin flip, or a game of rock paper scissors. Oh yeah, it's not DreamHack, so it's a game of rock paper scissors because it's Carmack.
Oh, Polt attacking 2 locations. HerO needs to spread out so well. The army supply quite in favor of Polt.
Oh, he's got a force on the left-hand side, aiming for that Nexus. There are 4 high Templar there, and 2-2 about to finish here for HerO. Even
God.
on some cannons.
It's time. It's time.
All right, how many SCVs are gonna die today?
20. Oh, with this War Prism.
Got it. 15, 14 workers already. A big warp in inside the main base. Once again, the Warp Prism. If there was one unit to describe HerO, it's not the bloody Observer. It's the Warp Prism. And as you can see, just once again dealing the damage. There is a Viking, but you were not helpful here. And Polt tried to Doom drop 5 Medivacs forward, but was pushed back.
You know what? HerO lost the previous game because of his unit placement, and I think he didn't have enough units in his main. That was the main part. He's lost his Nexus in the main. He lost a lot of key buildings there very, very suddenly. And in this game, he doesn't want that to repeat, basically. So he's going to leave 2 Templars at all times, a whole bunch of Zealots. He has the in-control cannon, and he's going to be a lot more careful than he was in the previous game.
Well, Polt's playing some of the, some really good StarCraft. He definitely looking shaky in the early stages of this series, but he's definitely turned it up a couple of notches. But HerO is the one being aggressive. and he's going to move forward. Those two force fields do kind of push the army to one side, and he does storm that one side, but there's a flank coming in here, and there's a lot of units for Polt coming from behind here.
Whoa.
And all of a sudden, HerO's like, what the hell? And he is losing everything here. A beautiful move there. A great flank. What are you, a Zerg player? No, I'm Polt.
Look at the upgrades actually finishing as this fight just ended, I guess. You could say, you know, he fought too early, he had upgrades about to finish, he was about to match his opponent, but this was a great flank. The flank from behind here won him the fight clearly, and even though they still have the same supply, I do think this was great for Polt here. And look, he starts 3-3 right away. He's the guy who's unstoppable when he's on 3-3. Be it against Zerg or be it against Protoss. He does very, very well in the late game actually. Except that one time against Rain on Frost.
HerO definitely started this strong well, but it's almost becoming a finals of stamina now between these two players, going the distance. And remember that in both semi-finals these played, it was epic 5 games as well.
Yeah, and hold on, we might have engagement. No, just a few Zealots getting picked off. Where's the War Prism? I know he remade one. Oh, okay, it's in his usual position.
Don't worry.
Roaming around with actually 1 Templar and 3 Zealots. He's mixing it up. 1 Templar less. He's like, I'm gonna try this this little package here.
I've actually got 2 Storms available on that 1 High Templar.
Oh, the Viking could actually meet this. This might be what Polt needs.
It squeezes past, and it gets to the main base here.
The turret's in main.
The funny thing is, there are no SCVs here.
Oh, there's quite a few units actually. Marines and Marauders coming out. He's not reacting well enough. Okay, there he is. Oh, that Templar, man.
Yeah, that Templar that has a lot of energy really isn't going to kill too much here, unfortunately. Gets a couple of units, but look at the middle of the map now. Polt, with his supply lead, is going to come to the Protoss player. And there's a lot of ghosts here in the mix now, which is always nice to see. And HerO splitting his forces once again, expecting Polt to come. He sees Polt's army there.
The ghosts were on the left-hand side, so there was not enough to help him defend. Oh, he's actually going to kill those ghosts with his Stalkers here.
Nice.
This is a nice win. And behind this, he's stacking to Colossus. He's got 2 of them out right now. He's getting a 3rd one. He's getting Thermal Lance. Oh, these Templars! They can defend by themselves, maybe. Yeah,
there's a lot of Storm Zealots come to help out, and Polt's going to try and fight this. And that was a really good defense there from HerO in the natural and on the 3rd base. The Menevic's got to be careful not to get any feedback from those juicy High Templar full of energy inside the main base, but...
The War Prism is still at it.
Yeah. Imagine if War Prisms were able to tally up the kills that all the units had that dropped from them.
Would be like 500.
Yeah. This is a nice warp in there, and he's loaded up the War Prism with a couple of High Templar again, and HerO is playing rather well, but Polt's on 4 bases now. He's got a really, really good income. He's about to finish 3 upgrades.
And Archon is going to be caught on the left-hand side of the map here for HerO. He's actually stuck behind the middle line. 1 Marine could have killed that one. Gonna get chased down here. Polt has to be careful. The biggest weakness of his style is sometimes he overextends like this, and he loses a lot of units not dealing too much when he gets caught out of position. But again, another attack. Oh, headed for the natural. Polt could get the Robo and the Robotic Spade. This might be what he needs here again.
That single Zealot gets warped in, and he does snipe the robotics facility before the Colossus actually comes out here, and that would have tallied them up to 4, which is actually pretty strong considering there's only 5 Vikings out with a lot of Stalkers and High Templar to support them. So that was a pretty crucial snipe that he was able to find.
They are mining from so far. It's freaking nice, man.
Yeah.
And oh, if he goes for the Ghost Academy, this is going to be good here for HerO, and that's exactly what he's going to do.
Yeah, and that Warp Prism lives forever. And he's going to go around to a different angle. We'll look to see what he can do. Vikings chasing it down, but HerO on the left-hand side is going to pick up a bunch of Fortress here quite easily.
Oh, the Warp Prism's going to die.
No. Not without getting one last storm off. And he gets into the SCV lines. 30 have been killed.
Okay, can we look at the units killed for a second here? 200 units were killed, 30 SCVs by HerO this game. Whereas 118 and 5 probes only by Polt. This is insane.
70 Zealots. Whew. A lot. Alright, so again, this game has calmed down a little bit, but Polt has the supply lead. He has 137 army supply to 95. Yeah. Does he have the right units to combat the army of HerO? 3 Ghosts, 7 Vikings versus 12 High Templar and 3 Colossus.
7 Vikings is not that much, but he just got cheap weapons level 1.
Yeah, and I think we're going to have to see some reinforcements come out to help this main fight here. as Polt's army is ever so strong. We do have a DT that's managed to find its way to that third base. His SCV kills will never stop.
SCV skills 35 only this game.
But it doesn't matter.
HerO's in a slump.
He's not killed 60. Another DT warped in there, so he's going to actually move forwards into the main army with that DT. Imagine if he just goes there backstabbing all these ghosts or something. Alright, uh-oh. He's going to move to the left and say he's going to get positioned on this third.
There is Templars in cheeky little positions here on the left-hand side.
Yeah, they have a Storm each, so let's see how useful they're going to be. Storms can change everything in a battle in Protoss versus Terran. A massive warp in right in front of this, and he's going to go for it. And Polt has a lot of units on the high ground here, but this is a lot of bloody Protoss. There's so many Zealots here, and the Colossus are doing a lot of damage. They do have the +2 attack, dealing out a lot. The army supply still in favor of Polt, but oh, that was a big storm. That was a big one, dealing out a lot of damage. But HerO is forced back. Another big warp in. 6 Zealots, 4 High Templar.
A single
again,
Colossus.
They trade off there, but I think that was a win for HerO for sure.
They traded. I'm just gonna.
Well, the army supply was like 130
yeah.
to 90, and then it's kind of even right now.
But, okay, let me clarify. There is a single Colossus left, and the Robo was sniped. Actually, he remade a Robo, which kind of escaped my gaze here. Where is it?
It's behind the mineral line.
Oh, in the natural. So I guess he can resume Colossus production, but he's only making them one by one.
Yeah, and remember all ghosts were killed there too.
Yeah. Actually, literally all of them. So.
Yeah, and there's a lot of High Templar left. That's a lot of storms. You've got to do a lot of dodging. And HerO has a 4th base now in that bottom left. He killed the ice.
They're going to man out the map and keep on fighting.
And then it's going to get a draw.
One Templar will face a Viking.
Yeah.
Funka rating, please no.
He's like, no,
Come on,
no,
where's
no,
your passion for the game? Hashtag confirm lost passion. I want this game to basically end with Polt winning, and I want 3 more draws, man.
A Dark Templar to the top right as well, and that's a completely undefended mineral line, and that's pretty good for HerO.
Oh, how did he find this? He's like, you know what, I'm just going to check it with a DT. He checks it and jackpots.
That is a jackpot there. And, well, there's more and more ghosts being added onto the mix now. There's none actually out right now, but there are 3 on the way. But the High Templar count is still so very, very scary. With the army, there's 5, and then of course there's 1 spread defensively all across. And this game about to cross the 30-minute mark here. Map number 6 between these two. And then HerO goes for a couple of storms here, and they are rather good.
There is
they
no
are
ghost.
never ending without ghosts, as you say, exactly. And he powers through though. He weathers the storm.
No pun intended. 3-2 upgrades still for HerO. He's missing that +3 attack. He's getting it now, but this is very, very late.
Yeah.
30 minutes into the game. HerO's getting a 5th base, and well, Polt has already been on 5 base for quite a while, but SCVs on that 5th base, not many. He's getting chased down now. Polt, I don't understand. It always appears like he has more supply, but his army doesn't look that big. But hold on, reinforcements are coming in.
Yeah,
3 ghosts start now.
This is a lot, and HerO has good income, but he's not really spending his money that well. He's up to 600 minerals. He's only got 10 gateways, and he's actually mining from the top left, believe it or not. That's unbelievable. That
these guys, they're fighting all the time. It feels like right now they're playing like a scenario map. You know, you use map setting where like you have basically infinite money, and you keep on having units appearing, and then you just micro them. But no, they're actually macroing at the same time, and they're doing such a good job. HerO, man, he's warped in so many Templars in nice positions and used them so well. On the other hand, you have Polt, who keeps on attacking in different positions, always trying to get some damage done. And oh, those 2 Zealots, those 5 Zealots. You've been spotted.
4 Medivacs. I mean, both of them have been spotted, but there's still nothing at the back base here to actually protect against Zealots, DTs, or anything. But a massive, you know, a swarm of Medivacs making their way to the main base.
It's gonna fall.
That's a nice pick-off too.
It's the single Ghost Academy that he has, so he's gonna have to remake that. Polt, he's not that rich anymore. He doesn't have that many minerals left on his bases. Oh, big attack on the left-hand side.
Yeah, there's a couple High Templar here to help out, a few cannons too, and a massive set of warpins. And a big drop inside the main base. HerO is kind of far away as he went back to defend it, but then decided to move to the left. Of course, with that attack happening to the top.
We know the Marine range, man. Now we got the Templar range. They are everywhere, ready to storm.
Oh,
big storm.
3 of the medivacs get out there. That could have been a lot worse.
And all of a sudden, HerO is maxed out.
Yeah, he's mining really well. I mean, he's got 3 bases. The back base, then the left-hand side base, which was able to stay alive. And he's also really slowed down Polt's income by that back one.
And he completed some quite important upgrades as well. He's got +3 attack. Oh, that Colossus is a little bit out of position. But again, where are the ghosts?
Where are the Vikings too?
6 Vikings, 3 ghosts.
4 Colossus, 3 ghosts. Not a lot. Not a lot indeed.
How many Templars though? 10.
Yeah, it's a lot of Templar.
The Guardians of the map, they're everywhere. Look on the left-hand side, around the middle of the map.
Yeah.
Just a little bit below that, there is another one, just right above the ramp. Actually, this guy, man.
And
you
HerO
shall not pass.
HerO might have made the right army now, finally, to be able to potentially take this one. He's got a great setup, and Polt is going to find it very, very difficult. He's trying to add on more and more Vikings. He's actually trying to come to this left-hand side again, but there's so many High Templar, and there's, of course, the ability to move his army back over here once again, and there's a great storm, by the way. That just hit home.
After a 34 minutes game, the units lost resources, 33,500 to 33,100. Ridiculously close.
This is...
And non-stop action.
Non-stop action completely, and I don't know if he's got Blink available, but apparently not, as one Medivac does escape. But this is a massive run by as Polt charges down the natural, and that's a lot of Marauders, and they are going to deal with these really fast. The High Templar makes its way down to help out, and the entire of HerO's army has to come back to deal with this. Another Nexus is going to get sniped, and Polt's ramping up the pressure.
Yeah, these are some key facilities that HerO's going to need to remake behind this. So those were very, very important, but in the end, a lot of Bioforces will be killed for this. Polt actually falling behind, quite far behind in supply, but HerO is supply blocked. He's gonna have to. He's lost his Nexus on the top left-hand side. Yeah. Money-wise, HerO has mined out his 3rd base. He doesn't even have a Nexus on his 2nd base, which we've seen before. That scenery.
And a Dark Templar got to the top right mining base again, preventing that. That's been very crucial throughout this.
And Polt is being prevented from mining on the top right-hand side base.
Yeah.
Actually, I think Polt, if he turtles here, if he gets 170 army supply, because he only has 34 SCVs, he's gonna be in a good position to possibly win this game. Even though it looked like HerO, his army is so strong right now. So I think this is what he might look to do here. Look at the worker count. Look at the army supply. 126 to 127. Polt could get 166 army supply. I hope I did the math right. And I think I did.
Never do math on stream.
I never learn.
Ooh, well, it's I mean, both of them don't really want to go to the right-hand side here. I was wondering why HerO maybe couldn't try to fight on the 2nd Xel'Naga Tower and then try to go down the right-hand side base. But if he does that, then he surrenders the left side of the map, which he's currently using to mine from. So it's very important for both of these players to stay on the left-hand side. But a big drop here from Polt inside the main base.
And what is this followed up by every single time? An attack somewhere else on the left-hand side. The Nexus is going to be sniped.
Yeah.
And probably cancelled. Or maybe even not.
And the Nexus inside the main base is going to get cancelled. Someone has to have a tally of how many Nexus he's killed this series. 1,000.
And it's funny how HerO, originally he had his tech buildings in his main, then they were in the natural, they died in both places, and now they're on the bottom left-hand side. And actually lots of Bioforces just died here. Polt overextending. He was macroing the army in the main.
Look at the supply. 130
Oh, and he's mined out everywhere. He's mined out every single base, except for that top right-hand side base, which is guarded by a very angry Dark Templar.
Yeah, that's one way to put it. It's got a lot of SCVs, that one, and a lot of others behind it.
Both players are taking one more expand.
This is crazy here, but you have to favor HerO at this point with mining, just mining in itself. And this series, this entire tournament, this has absolutely blown my mind. One of the best tournaments I've had the pleasure to be at. And this is going to continue on for a little bit more now. HerO going to move forwards. He storms and misses just left of that Xel'Naga Tower. The Mothership Core's got a mine of its own and does decide to come back to the main force. There are 5 Colossus. There are not that many Vikings. 9.
And
with
the army
Storms
supply.
And Stalkers.
The army supply really favoring HerO here at this point. 124 to 102. The DT, is he going to get killed on top right-hand side? He's very angry, killing SCVs left and right. Even at Orbital Command took some damage. That's the revenge for the next side. Not yet, as he did not get killed. Lots of cannons going up on the left-hand side, by the way, at that base.
Yeah.
double photon overcharge ready. So if this was to be attacked with the photon overcharge, I think HerO will do very well, especially since, I mean, even in the middle of the map, he will do well with this army. He has more army supply, 124. He needs to be careful not to make a major mistake, like basically not getting enough observers against ghosts.
Polt's making a daring move at the moment. He's picked up 4 Medivacs full worth of units.
Oh wow,
There
there's
is
a lot of army in the main.
of army in the main here. This is not going to bend well for him. And then, of course, that's a lot of army supply that he doesn't really have anyway. So, the Planetary Fortress and everything, if HerO was to realize...
Oh, it's not looking! He lost
3 Medivacs! 3!
Oh god, this is...
This is looking bad here. HerO's going to start to smell blood. He's going to start to smell the victory. He's got Stalkers there. And he just sees that there aren't a lot of units. He tries to snipe a Ghost and he doesn't, blinks away. And then HerO's found the Medivac, the one remaining Medivac that got away, but not for much longer. And Polt falling apart. He's lost 4 Medivacs full of units.
Oh, he's going for it.
And he's going to go for one last-ditch attack here by the looks of it. He's not mining properly. He doesn't have a large army.
There's a Templar just right above this. Oh, nice feedbacks.
Yeah, great feedbacks onto the Ghosts. And this is looking very bad. I mean, they got the Time Warp down. There's Templar everywhere. The main army from HerO isn't even around. He's got a massive army supply advantage. And if HerO just moves his main force, the Vikings are waiting for it to come. But the Stalkers, the Storms and Archons, and by the looks of it, HerO, you could go for the win, my son. He's picked up the Vikings and he can go for the Planetary Fortress. He can go for the last remaining stance of Polt here. And with so many Colossus, the Vikings going down fast. Finally, it looks after 15 hours of StarCraft 2 that has been played on Championship Sunday here. HerO is going to break Polt. He is going to take an Inter-Extreme Masters Championship here. Polt is down 50 supply, a valiant effort from him, but it is Liquid's HerO who stands strong with final storms as he marches through. GG is called, and HerO takes the Inter-Extreme Masters Championship here in Cologne. It's been a long tournament. It's been a long, long day for HerO. He went through Jaedong in the semi-finals, very close, and he's just now beaten Polt in a couple of hours series. That's his 5th StarCraft 2 championship. There is a smile that breaks through. Congratulations to Liquid HerO. Unfortunately, Polt couldn't quite make it, and I'm going to pass it over to Red Eye.
Thank you very much, Sean, and to Todd as well.
Good
and
job.
A big thank you to both the guys over there and to all of the commentators here that have put in a massive amount of effort. 16 and a half hours of commentary today delivered from the Intel Extreme Masters. So congratulations to Sean, to Todd, to Rhett, and to Kalaris, and of course our one and only observer, the Mr. Wonderful Funker upstairs, who's done a great job. We are almost ready for the presentation of the Intel Extreme Masters Cologne trophy. And it's my pleasure to introduce you to the 2 men that will help me do so, Mr. Carmack and Mr. Mark Alberts from Blizzard. Please come and join me. Hello, guys. They're going to present the checks and the trophies. I also want to make a very quick thank you to all of the people that stayed here tonight and watched the rest of the games. You guys have been great all weekend, so big round of applause for yourselves. And of course, all of you all over the world who have tuned in over the weekend and late into the night here as well, thank you for tuning in. It's been a pleasure bringing you the coverage here from the Intel Extreme Masters, but my biggest thanks goes to the players this week who have put on an absolute fest of StarCraft action all week long. It has been the most incredible week of StarCraft 2 action, and we have the players to thank for that, so thank you to all of them that have taken part. In second place, ladies and gentlemen, he has had a magnificent Intel Extreme Masters. He has come back from the brink several times, not just once, not just times, but many times. He is the Knight of Terran. Please welcome in second place, CM Storm Polt. And of course, just as importantly, Mr. Polt will also be in Katowice for the World Championship final as well. And to the winner A man who has quietly gone about his business with not much fuss shown around him, despite playing some excellent matches throughout the week. He absolutely destroyed Innovation in the quarterfinals, came through a very difficult game in his semi-final against Jaedong, and finally overcame the only Terran to reach an Intel Extreme Masters in Season 8. For the third time in a row, the name HerO goes on the trophy, but this time it's Liquid HerO! Ladies and gentlemen, the champion of Intel Extreme Masters Cologne. And as Liquid HerO celebrates his victory, it's not far off 3 a.m. in the morning here in Cologne, so thank you very much for tuning in. The traditional lift is completed by Carmack. One more quick thing as well. The replays of the whole tournament are already online. Enjoy. Thank you very much for tuning in, and congratulations once more to Liquid HerO. We'll see you in 4 weeks' time for the World Championship. Good night.